Buckle up. Football Friday. Yes, sir. As my friend Jack Whitaker would say, yes, sir. That's what you want to have, a little content from last night. And we have a boatload of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly is what we witnessed last night in that 34-27 exhibition game number 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Had a chance to watch the entire ball game. Many of the things that I saw that we predicted right here are starting to play and swim its way towards big sales. What an offseason we're having. Woo! Holy cow, we say it here, we see it there. Like the Hulkster, man. Absolutely. We see it here, right? And we say it here, and there it was. Holy cow. There is so much to get to, and the easy low-hanging fruit would be Kelee Ringo, but we're going to wait for that steak as we put it on the grill here in a couple minutes. We're going to get to my takeaways. We'll go through the numbers. We will give out game balls. Who won the night? Who was the player who won the night? And who was the player that shined last night? Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you coming aboard. Mike North, you guys enjoyed him? A Chicago legend who loves the Eagles and loves Jalen Hurts will be with us at 4:30. One of the great broadcasters and sports talk dudes in history. And the legendary Mike Golic will be with us. That will be at 5:30. We will have the former Eagle on, former host of ESPN's morning show. You all know who he is, and we will have him up. That'll be at 5:30 Eastern time. Hit that like button. Let's get right to the takeaways. What you guys think of last night's ball game? Read some of your comments when we're in here. So let me get to my takeaways here in what we witnessed last night. Here we go. You ready? Hit that like button, guys. Supers go to the top. Tanner McKee can play. That dude can freaking play. He is a good-looking football player. Like 37. Let's go, Tanner. Tanner Manning. I like it. Kyle. Looks to me, CB2 will be won by what pile of horse stinks the least. All super chats will always be this, guys. The supers will interrupt big sills. A pocket QB with first team could be scary. Oh, no. Not going there yet, but we will make a case for something with these comments here in a minute. Tanner McKee can play. He destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals first team defense. Not that that's a big deal, but he destroyed that first. The Bengals and Al Golden put the first team Bengal defense on the field last night. He crushed them. I mean, he systematically destroyed. Yeah, I'm going to change these, man. These things are crooked on my noggin here a little bit. There you go. Hey, he systematically destroyed that Cincinnati Bengals defense. It's still a work in progress. We had Dave Lantham on the other day, part of the broadcast team, and the dude was trying to tell me that's a Super Bowl team. Not in your million dreams that is a Super Bowl team, the way that team played defense. Absolutely not. By the way, destroyed them. That's the Bengals' first group that he was going against in the first 3 drives. I mean, they completely confused them. And you know what, too, you love about McKee? McKee's playing with backup guys. He's not playing with frontline star dudes. I mean, the only guys that were on the original starting lineup were Tyler Steen and were Jahan Dotson. Everyone else was second and thirds, and he dissected that Bengal defense, which is the number 1 first-team guys, and he killed them. What happens when you got to play against somebody like Lamar Jackson, or you got to play against Josh Allen? You can't stop Tanner McKee? That guy went right through you, man, like shit through a goose. Defense has more holes than a strip club. We're going to suck, Sills. No. We are not going there. Hang on to that there. But, Nick, thank you. Jahad Campbell. Let me say this to you. Mixed reviews. I saw a lot of skill set stuff. I thought he was pretty good out there at times. I also thought he was confused at times, especially when Burrow was out there on the field. That guy had that guy's head on a swivel. Joe Burrow made those second-team dudes. By the way, you guys don't get it, do you? Half that roster that you saw play last night, that's half your football team. Somewhere, 30 guys have to be picked out of that stuff you saw last night. So as we tried to tell them Ringo was cheeks. Hey, Leon, here, do you understand, guys? Some of you idiots in here are saying those guys that's half your fucking roster. Over half your roster played last night. Do you understand that? 22 starters. You still got to find 35 guys. You've got to find 35 guys out of that last night. 35 dudes. So when you say that game didn't matter last night, over half your fucking roster is going to be picked off those guys that you saw play last night. So you relax. Hey, we asked the question, why is Anais Smith and Johnny Wilson on the team? Okay. I saw it last night. Thank you for answering. Why are they on the team? Okay. I saw it last night. Burrow destroyed Trotter, Munden, the entire secondary. Very little pass rush. Now, again, Cooper, Q, Carter, and Ajomo were 4 players missing from last night's game. 4 players were missing from last night's starting lineup, okay? All big players. Not trying to sell you that those players won't make an impact. And Bond. Thank you, Gabe. And Bond. To sit here and say that those 5 players wouldn't make an impact is ridiculous. Blankenship as well. Absolutely. To sit there and think that, again, they look confused, well, maybe this is one of the reasons why Reed Blankenship's, and they need that leadership back there because their heads were on a swivel last night. I haven't even gotten to some of the bad here. Ringo after said he needs to bring swag. What the fuck? Dude, you don't bring swag. You're built with swag. It's a stupid comment. Kelee Ringo sucks, as predicted. I want to make sure I underline this, though. These are takes you don't want to be right on. I'm not rooting against the kid. I am not rooting against him. Adoree Jackson sucks. As told here all offseason. Those guys are not replacing Slay. As a matter of fact, Sidney Brown's not a very good tackler. He is not a very good tackler. I mean, there were missed tackles everywhere last night. He is just not a very good tackler. You can sit here and you can kiss Sidney Brown's ass all you want. He is not a good tackler. He over-pursues, and he doesn't wrap. There were so many fundamental things last night. The Kelee Ringo, the guy just, I mean, that's got to be a 15-yard completion, and he's got to get him on the ground. That's why you pay that kind of money out there for lockdown corners. I mean, it was on display. He's a poor tackler. Don't get mad at me. I started the war in Norway. There you go. Absolutely. They're screaming in Oslo right now because Leon was right. There you go. The front page of the Viking. Okay? The front page of the Viking. Yeah, Uche and Ojulari did they dress last night? And here's another one. Senor, Sidney Brown got hurt because he keeps his head down when he tackles. Come on. I learned as a kid, you tackle with your head up. Absolutely true. And he runs off the field. Well, guess what we said yesterday about Sidney Brown when we were talking to Xander? How do you think the development has gone with Sidney Brown? Well, it's not fair because he can't get on the field because of injury. Well, that's part of it. This guy's injury prone? Fuck that. He's out. You're not in a position as an Eagle team right now to be sitting around waiting and wet nursing guys. You're trying to win a Super Bowl. You're the team that sits at the pole right now. You're not going to fucking wait around whether a guy's ready to play or not. You need to make decisions today so that people tomorrow don't catch you. Guy's always fucking hurt. Brown, out. Until further notice. Guy makes a play. He's off the field and he's in the tent. Get out of here with this shit. I'm done with that. This is all part of the process. Sills, I heard they're selling Ringo toasters. Let me get to him now. I think that guy cannot track a wide receiver to save his fucking life. And let me tell you, I heard Xander this morning. You know what he said? As soon as the guy's in front of him, what does he do? He stops his fucking feet and he can't track and he's late. Dude, you got the ability. Okay, he needs more reps. Like that guy needs about 1,000 reps to see whether or not how good he is. Like the receiver, he's in position. He can't make the play. Why? Because he hasn't done it. He just hasn't done it. He's not good enough. He's Adoree Jackson. I see why Vic hates him. That guy is soft. He plays too far off the fucking ball. And when he goes to make a tackle, Isaiah Rodgers makes him look like he's Ronnie Lott. I mean, Adoree Jackson is soft. He sucks. Holy shit. And get this, I'm not just talking about Jamar Chase. I'm talking about the other dudes that came out there and whooped both their asses. That thing was fucking sad. Those are your starting guys that you're going to pick from. You don't have the guy on your fucking team right now. Your safety position blew out loud last night. Your corner position blew out loud. And get this, your edge rushers were fucking awful. I don't know what else to say here. The running backs, I thought, were great last night for Philly. Ty Robinson, something was on display last night. I thought he still struggles getting off of blocks. Okay, had a sack. He's an effort guy. And there's no doubt what you saw last night, going against Mulata and Lane in practice, you're not going to get any movement. So when you go against lesser players, that was on display last night. See what we're saying here? You're playing against Lane Johnson and Jordan Mulata and a lot of really good football players in Philadelphia on that old line. Okay? And there's no doubt that guy last night, I mean, if you're Vic Fangio, you've got to say this about your edges. Holy shit. You're not replacing Josh Sweat with any of those fucking guys. Nolan Smith can't do it himself. You just can't. Ojulari and Uche were fucking missing in person. It was terrible. Those are the guys that have to make up some of your core of your defense. Remember I said 35 men have to be selected for your roster off that group of men you saw play last night. I don't give a shit about the score. I'm talking about the players that are going to have to be contributors this year. I saw very little. Jahad Campbell, I saw him swiping. I posted something that Baldy said. There were a lot of good fundamental things he did out there. He got lost in coverage, man. Munden actually looks better than him. Samil London, he looks better. That guy, Samil Munden, looks better than him. He looks like he has more of an understanding of the defensive set that's being asked to him. He looks more comfortable at the linebacker position than Campbell. And it looks to me that Vic's giving him more reps than he's giving Campbell. We said that Munden would be the guy that probably is going to be the swing linebacker like Burks. Okay, so I think that that's where they're going to go. That it'll be Trotter and it'll be Bond and Munden will be the backup. And Campbell, they'll put in particular packages to try to get him acclimated to the game. Okay? Here's Prince. Seals in the game, both Ringo and Sidney show a lack of fundamentals and technique for their positions. Kelee Ringo had difficulty breaking down to effectively tackle Chase. Correct. Now, Prince, that could be, to be fair, a rep thing. Because, you you see what Chase did? He stutter stepped him. He stopped his feet, went right around him. That's basic football. He struggles at the basics, which is troubling. I mean, you see why he's been on the sidelines now for 3 years. It was on display last. Now, look, Jamar Chase, you got to be fair. He's going to do that to everybody. He's one of the great wide receivers in the game, okay? I'll tell you this, that moving off of Gardner Johnson, by the way, good news on Gardner Johnson, it doesn't look like his ACL, which is great for him. But that Slay and Gardner Johnson move looks fucking terrible after the first 2 weeks of preseason football and practice. Xander, I missed the super by my friend Leon. That fucking thing looks stupid. Now I see why Vic wants Q to follow the run. Right. Get this. Hey, Leon, let's put this out there. The reason that, and say it with me, the reason that Vic Fangio has Quinyon Mitchell traveling is because he knows he doesn't have a corner two. And here's something else that's evident. If you suck that bad at corner two, why aren't you putting Cooper out there? Unless you think he can't play it. Unless you think he can't play it. And by the way, you don't think that that's going to be a deficiency when you go and Dak will score points on that CB2 right now. I don't care what you think of Dak. Tanner McKee would score points on that. He would score points. Now, excuse me, unless you saw something different last night. There's a serious competition for wide receiver 3. Darius Cooper. Can I make a comparison for him? I don't know. I see some Deebo Samuel on how you could use that guy. I think you could drop his ass in the slot and put him down there in the slot. But would the quarterback find him? Would the quarterback find him? I mean, I don't know. You do not use that receiver number 3 at all. Dude, you could put my cousin in there. It wouldn't matter. So when somebody goes like this, Johnny Wilson and Anaya Smith and Darius Cooper, oh, okay. What does it really matter? You're not going to fucking utilize it because you never do. That kid, Darius Cooper, is even built like Deebo. He kind of has the Deebo characteristics. not saying he's Debo. I'm like, he kind of moves around like him. Okay? Kind of like right around in that room there. Adoree Jackson will not make the football team. I don't want that guy on my football team. He's not good enough. That guy is not good enough. Shit, the dude that they traded for the Raiders had the best night of everybody. He didn't even have to fucking do anything. And it elevated his game. Okay? So here's your safety position. Your safety position, Sidney Brown cannot tackle. He cannot tackle. Unless you saw something fucking way different last night. That guy cannot tackle. He is not a good tackling player. Adoree Jackson is fucking soft. Kelee Ringo, again, what's he thinking? He just looks like he's overcooking it. Like, bro, go fucking make a play. You played in the Southeastern Conference. You can't let Jamar Chase run you out of the fucking room like that on a simple play for a corner. A pro corner puts that guy on the ground that close in space. You can't just get with an arm swipe, run into the end zone. That was a terrible splash plus 25 play that Vic Fangio fucking hates. The good news is all your starters went out there. The bad news is some key positions are showing its head now. Here, rank these. CB2, edge, and safety. And let's take a look at that. Josh Sweat, Slay, and CJ. You don't have a guy on the team anywhere near those guys. Been telling you the entire offseason. You guys thought you had somebody, and because you gave Howie the benefit of the doubt, bro, just like every team's different every year. Every situation will be different. You think you're going to duplicate if that was the case, the Eagles would win the Super Bowl every fucking year. If they were going to hit on everybody every year. That's asinine to think that. Okay? And for the record, do I think Kelee Ringo sucks as a football player? No, I think he sucks as a corner. There's two things. Two things can be true. I think he's got skill. He just can't put it together. Hey, how many days? Somebody tell me how many days until September 4th? So those are my takeaways. I'm going to get to the numbers here in a minute. My takeaways, I thought the offensive line played exceptionally well. The backups were fucking great. Absolutely great. McKee was spectacular. Will Shipley has definitely, without a doubt, in my opinion, as of August 8th, hammered down the number 2 running back position. I think there's some good looks at number 3 wide receiver. I believe that you're finding some guys and you're looking at the rotation of your offensive line. I think that you need some help trying to figure out what Jihad Campbell is. I thought Dylan also played well. He had a 5.4 average in the ball game. All right. I mean, there was, and Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee could start on 10 to 12 football games in the NFL. Now, I want you to hear me say this. I don't believe that Tanner McKee's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, but he's a better pocket passer than Jalen Hurts will ever be. He doesn't have the skill that Tanner has. Tanner just lacks the experience. It's not a rip. Jalen can do more. Jalen's got a bigger toolbox to be able to do more things with. that Tanner doesn't have. And those other things that Jalen Hurts has absolutely put him above Tanner and a lot of other quarterbacks in the NFL. His running ability. Jalen is a good passer. McKee has fundamentals to make him a great passer. But Jalen has more options and ability to be able to do more things because of his running. So all in all, Tanner McKee on a good offensive line with good skill set people, he could be something like in the skill set of a Matthew Stafford. Stafford needs a good O-line, needs good players around him. He needs protection. When protection breaks down, Stafford breaks down. It's that skill set. I'm not telling you that guy will be that good. I'm talking about skill set. And he also has to have this. Well, here, you see this thing here? My problem with Tanner is mobility. Brady had no mobility, and nor did Manning. Those guys didn't have issues with mobility. They didn't have it. They played against it. They had checkdowns. They had a short passing game. They threw across the middle of the field, something Hurts never will do. And he's 6'6", 6'7". He's got a better vision of the field. Again, I'm not telling you there's some sort of there's no conversation with that. There's just no conversation. I'm not going anywhere near them. I'm telling you that guy is not a 7th-round quarterback. I'm telling you that kid looks like I'll tell you what, I see a little Nick Foles in that dude. With Foles a better athlete. Tanner reminds me of prime Matt Ryan. Ringo sucks. Jameson, thank you for the super. Supers go to the top. Tanner McKee is making in rising in draft value. Okay? He has got a great pocket presence. And he's accurate. You know what? I kept saying this. Why in the world is Johnny Wilson on the fucking team, and why is Anaya Smith? That's the best I've ever seen those two guys play last night. I've never seen those guys play any better. And they made those guys play great, and he did. So, I mean, players spoke. He spoke. We'll talk about that a little bit. Game balls, we're going to do that here in a second. Hit the like button. Let's go to the numbers and what they did as an offense and what they did as a defense. Remember something. Let's put this in context here. Carter, let's write them down. Reed, Morrow, Bond, Q, and Cooper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you put 6 with meaning that Cooper's going to be at the safety position and base, you're looking at 6 guys off your starting defensive football team. So again, put that in context. All right? But here's what I'll say. Those guys on the field against Burrow, whew, yeah, they made that thing look terrible last night. Dan, you really going to tell me you wouldn't trade Tanner for a starting secondary player instead of what if Jalen Hurts gets hurt? Why don't you wait until people really need the guy? Is what I would say to you. Make the value rise. Dude, it's always good to trade a guy when a team has to panic. They're not going to panic in training camp on August 8th. Somebody gets hurt in the final exhibition game, they're going to panic. And then they'll come calling for a 3rd rounder for the kid. Or Howie makes a trade for a player. Howie doesn't need any more draft picks, folks. He needs an edge rusher, and he needs a safety, and he needs a corner. That's what he needs. He doesn't need any more picks. He's got them next year. That's all set up. All those picks you have? Yeah, you needed fucking players. Shopping at the dollar store reared its head last night. Big Sills, did you see that passing game, the rifleman, Tanner McKee? He was great. He was great. 20 of 25, 252. 2 TDs, 3 total. He was accurate. He had a great field vision. There is no doubt that guy. And let me ask you something here. Let me go down here and let me go through the numbers first, and then we'll go to the topics here. Scores are relevant, but they kept scores, so I say it. 34-27. Okay, Eagles win. First downs, 23-19, right down the board. Pretty shitty third down efficiency. 3 of 15 for the Eagles and 3 of 12 for the Bengals. Not very good. Total play, 73-60. Time of possession obviously was going to be on, when you see that number, will be on the Eagle side. Total yards, 432, 325. I'll tell you this, outside of that first unit of the Bengals, that team is low on talent. Cincinnati is fucking low on talent, boy. Duke Tobin. I don't know what people think. People in Cincinnati really think that's a Super Bowl team? No way. You're not better than the Chargers. No way. 300 to 268 in passing. Okay. A lot of penalties. 10 of 80 and a ton of missed tackles. Not a very good combination when you're talking about, again, second group guys, though. So let's be fair here. So Nolan and Jalix don't exist. I'm not sure what you're referencing. I didn't see Jalix Hunt. Did he play last night? Did Jalix Hunt play? I must have missed him. I don't think he played, right? Did Jalix, he didn't play? I don't believe he played. Why? I don't know. Because that dude needs a lot more reps. I don't think you have good edge rushers. Running, 132, shows you once again the offensive line opening up holes to run the football. Turnovers, 1 apiece. Time of possession. Joe Burrow was spectacular. 9 to 10, 123, 2 touchdowns, almost 160 QB rating. I mean, look, it's against the twos. Some ones out there, some guys battling for one spots at the safety position and corner, rotating linebacker, the rotating edge rushers. They were looking and also trying to battle for a job. So, again, you got to put everything in context here. Joe Burrow should kill that team. 8 starters, not 6 when you include those 2. Again, once again, Raymond, half your football fucking team was going to come off that field last night. You understand that? 35 guys that played last night are going to make the team. Do you get that? Okay? 35 guys. And by the way, I don't care if you have the rest of those guys on the team. If your corner's getting murdered and your safety's getting murdered, you're playing against Patrick Mahomes, Dak, and Matthew Stafford and Baker Mayfield, who tore you a new one the last 2 games. They're going to find that hole. And they're going to plug it. Shipley, 7 for 48. Dillon had a 5.4 average, as we said, 5.27, 5 carries, 27 yards. Darius Cooper, 6 for 82, touchdown. I think he's a good player. I do. I think he's a good player. Now, he'll have that stigma on him for a bit, not being drafted. You know, listen, 2 things happen all the time when it comes to evaluating players. You know what the 2 biggest mistakes that NFL teams make? Do you know what the 2 biggest mistakes they make? They don't invite Division I AA players to training camp or to the combines. And they don't really invite a ton of HBCU guys. For whatever reason, they don't really scout those teams any longer. And you're going to miss guys in talent evaluating. You're just going to miss them. You're going to look at the school and you're going to go, who the fuck is this? And you're not going to invite that Because you know why? 9 times out of 10, and sometimes even 10 times out of 10, there's not going to be anybody in those schools or in that division that you're going to invite to the combines. You're just not. And so guys fall through the cracks. That's how they fall through the cracks. He's the 1 out of 10, potentially, that fell through the cracks. That's how that works. Is it right? Absolutely not. But the NFL is not going to spend boatloads of money going to places that don't have great recruiting and don't have great coaches. They're going to hang their hat in the SEC like the Eagles do, or they're going to hang their hat in the Big Ten. And that's right. With the effect of nil in the transfer portal, I'm not going to that school. What's the name of the school that he's from? I'm not fucking going there and recruiting anybody. Why would I go there? I'm going to hang out at the Southeastern Conference. That's how guys fall through the cracks. It's not right. But that's, again, why you look at particular guys. Okay, Toledo's not a 1AA football program, dude. Toledo's in the MAC, which is in Division I. In case you didn't know, I'm here to help. Okay, that's a Division I program. Temple's a Division I program. USF, UCF, San Diego State, just to here to help. Wyoming, those are Division I's. Q went to a Division I football program. Thank you. And 1AA. What's the name of the school the kid went to? What's the name of the school he went to? This Darius Cooper. Let's go here. Johnny Wilson, 3 catches for 73. Okay, so yeah. I look, I thought the Eagles with their second team, I thought the second team offense was pretty good out there last night. What's the name of the school? Never heard of it. Have they ever had any NFL guys come out of there? I've never heard of it. Tarleton State. Where is that? Tarleton State. I have no idea where it is. Someone help me out. Seriously, I cover college football. I've never fucking heard of it. Hit the like button, guys. Super chats go to the top. Get my game balls. It's in Texas. Makes sense. Do I think he should make the team? Well, how do you think Howie looks at that? You think Howie's going to keep a UDFA over Johnny Wilson and Nia Smith? Especially when you need a punt returner? Maybe he could be a punt returner. Maybe you put his ass back there as a punt returner. Maybe he turns out to be a 4th receiver there. I don't know. Let's see how he plays the next couple games. What do you got? The Browns coming up? They got a nice secondary. That'll be a nice test. Here's my game balls. I'll give it to the O-line. Every guy in that O-line gets a game ball. Nice job last night. Protecting the quarterback against the ones of the Bengals. I thought the offensive line performed exceptionally well last night. And there's players in that O-line that teams around the NFL will covet. Let me tell you something about your offensive line. There is no doubt 31 football teams are watching that game last night and watching every single one of those backups, praying that Roseman is going to put some of those guys on waivers because you can't keep them all. I say the Eagles should keep at least 11 to 12 O-linemen. Why? Because you're going to run the fucking ball a lot this year. You're not going to be throwing the ball. You're going to be running the ball. So I would want to keep more O-line and more of a treasure chest of offensive linemen that I think I do have, and I think they do have. Okay? I think they do have. I wouldn't want to put some of those guys out there. I did think that Chris Hinton, or what's his name? Hinton, Chris Hinton's son, I thought he struggled last night. McKee's like prime Lisa Ann. Just had to be there. How you doing? I think he's a heck of a football player. I got Trotter. I thought my takeaway on Jeremiah Trotter last night, I thought he was good. He had a solid game. I thought when the ones were out there, he looked stupid also. Got turned around a couple times. I mean, they went right down that field. Now, again, with Bond next to him and Carter and Davis in front of him, that'll be better. He'll be better. I mean, he really didn't have help in the defensive tackle position last night because those guys were getting drilled off the ball with the one group. And by the way, Cincinnati's not that good in the O-line. So, I mean, I thought he was okay. Nothing to write home about. I thought a ton of missed tackles. There were a ton of missed tackles last night in that football game. You know what's funny? I turned on the radio shows in fucking Philly. They watch a different ball game than me. And it's funny, the fans and us, you that are in here, you saw the same game I did. I know you did. You're trying to sit down on your knee pads. You're still in 2024. Get the fuck out of that. That shit's over with. That shit's over with. Last night, that resembled nothing close to what it was. There were a shitload of missed tackles last night. Okay? Look, how many days is it? How many days is it until September 4th? Can someone tell me? I thought Trotter played okay. He was all right. I do think it's going to be Trotter and Bond in the starting. Munden will be the swing. As of right now, Jahad Campbell is not – I thought he would start. And again, this is the misinformation that you get from training camp and from the people that fucking cover the goddamn team that don't tell you the truth about Jahad Campbell. That's nothing I saw last night. Missed tackles, false steps. Munden looks better. All that bullshit I heard about Campbell has been bullshit. It has been bullshit. I mean, that's not how that looked last night. Darius Cooper, number 2, game ball. And Tanner McKee, obviously, number 1. That's what we saw. I mean, Munden looks like the third wheel now. He looks like the Oren Burks. Here's who lost last night big time. Ringo, Jackson, Brown. You can't say Campbell. Listen, he looked like a rookie last night that really hadn't figured it out yet. Munden has kind of an awareness of where he is on the field at least. He had missed tackles. By the way, on Sidney Brown one more time. Bro, you're in position. You had the guy, and you let a running back bounce off you like that? That's fucking awful. That's terrible. It's the same shit we saw 2 years ago. When you play secondary and you're a safety, why do you think Reed Blankenship right now is on your football team? Here's why. Because he's got great technique. He understands the scheme. He knows where to line up. He's not the best, but he knows what he's doing. One more time here. This is not true, folks. I'll tell you about him. I thought he had great effort last night. I thought the sack was a nice sack. I didn't think it was special. Okay, they had a nice twist. The penetration of the defensive tackle actually made that happen because he looped underneath, and the quarterback stepped up into it, Burrow into the sack. But that's what you're looking for on that twist. So he ran the twist well. I still think he struggles getting off blocks. I mean, I thought he struggled getting off some blocks last night. I don't look. he played better than what he's practiced like because he's going against Malata and Lane. Okay? Kyler, by the way, guys, please hit the like button here. I'm giving Campbell a pass. First NFL experience in a game with game speed, but no excuses for Ringo and Sidney Brown. They've been in the league longer, and I've seen enough. Time to pull the plug. Let's do a couple more preseason games before we roll into that. Seals, game one of the preseason shows how much these guys don't live tackle in practice. Expect these young guys to get better with the physicality. Absolutely true. If they get the game reps. Absolutely, if they get the game reps. Okay? So, yes, this is another fucking lie. Not true. I think he played a lot better than what he's practiced. That first series, he got drilled. Drilled. Seals, watching Chase's 2 TD shows Ringo's real issue. Yeah, he can't track. We said that from day fucking one. Remember I read you his scouting report? Struggles with tracking of the wide receivers. His scouting report says exactly who he is. He couldn't transition after he missed. I'm going to go back and find this. Okay? Let's see here. I'm going to go back to the one that I read you. Okay? I'm going to go back to the scouting report that I read you guys 3 months ago. Okay? I have it from one of my friend scouts. Has troubles tracking. Everyone knows this. This guy does not have good hips. Okay? He doesn't. Do you think it's probably why he hasn't seen the field? He's got athletic ability. There's no doubt. All right, let me ask you this. If something happens to Jalen Hurts, do you think Tanner McKee, you think he can go in there and win you a Super Bowl? Do you? If McKee had to go in there and play 5 or 6 games, 4 games, how many did Nick Foles play? How many did Foles play? We'll use that number. Okay? We'll use Foles' number. How many games did Nick Foles play? Nick Foles played 5. I think there was 2 final regular season games. Wait, was it 11-2? Was 11-2 when Wentz went out. 11-2, 14-15. He played 3, and then he played, I think it was 6. Right? Or was it 5? It could have been 5. So Foles played 5 games. NFC Championship game, the Super Bowl. I forget the other playoff game. Was it Atlanta that he played in? Do you believe that McKee could go out there and win a Super Bowl for you? Now, look, to compare him to Foles, Foles had an all-pro season a couple of years prior to that. And I think Foles is a better athlete than Tanner. But they show a lot of similarities in the pocket. Okay? I mean, could he go on and win a Super Bowl for you? Seals, yes, McKee can win if we stay balanced in the run. That's it right there. That's the key. If Barkley's if Barkley's upright, I still think, personally, for me, do I think Tanner McKee could go in there and win you a playoff game? And do I think he could take your team to an NFC championship game if called upon? Yes. Now, how valuable is that to you if you're Howie Roseman? I see people in here wanting to trade him for a corner. Man, I don't know. Are you going to trade that, what you guys just said, away for a corner that you don't know could play on your team? Unless he's somebody fucking established like a Surtain or a Derek Stingley? Are you just going to trade that away? Knowing that if that kid goes down, and by the way, how many years has Hurts played where he's played 17 consecutive games? 23? Do you really want to give that up? Sills, have you ever played with a player like Ringo that didn't have fluid movement, but everything else? Yes. That's why you got to find a position for him, Sammy. I appreciate the super. Xander, I missed one, but yes, Sammy, that's more common than you know. It depends on the organization on how much he lasts, though, too, Sammy. Like the Eagles will stay with Ringo because they see something there. They don't want to give up on him, and I give him kudos for that. Xander, I missed another super here, man. I appreciate that, dude. Guys, all supers go to the top. We appreciate you guys. Thank you again. Don't forget, Xander's going to join us at 3:30. We will have Mike North, and we will have Mike Golic at 5:30. Drake, Tanner McKee, and corner. Nobody wants a Dory Jackson, dude. To the Jets for Tyrod Taylor and quarter. I mean, dude, that sounds like a fantasy football comment, and that's not reality. Sauce Gardner would command 2 number ones. The Jets would laugh Howie off the phone. Sauce Gardner and Tyrod Taylor for a shit stain of Dory Jackson and a prospect like Tanner McKee. Not happening. Listen, now, if you're going to make a trade, okay, you got to put Tanner McKee and Nolan Smith in a first for Sauce Gardner and Tyrod Taylor. Act like that. Sills, after 2017, there's no way you move McKee unless someone overpays. Correct. Someone comes in and goes, here's a 2. That makes the move. That makes the room move. I just asked you guys, do you think if Hurts goes down, that guy could win you a Super Bowl? And you guys go, yeah. Now you want to trade him for Tyrod Taylor. Are you fucking crazy? And then you want to go Sauce Gardner. Yeah, well, that ain't working. By the way, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to show you how good this kid is here in a couple seconds, and I'm going to do it with Xander. Again, dude, stay with us. Stay on planet Earth here a little bit, okay? Stay on planet Earth. Guys, top of the hour, do me a favor. Please hit that like button, okay? Sills, Ringo and Adoree are worse than Bradbury and Sidney. Still can't tackle, so our pass rush has to generate more pressure, but question is, who and how? Correct. Ojulari and Uche, especially Ojulari. I mean, okay. You see why the Giants cut him. He's a one-dimensional guy. Wind him up. Let him try to run into quarterbacks. Other than that, he can't drop. He can't tackle. He's a terrible in-space tackler. Okay? Once again, you see this guy? 35 players off that roster last night that you saw play will make the team. Okay? 35 ball players will make your football team on the group of players you saw last night. Put that in context. Our backup, Sills, That's going to make the majority of your roster, those players you have out there. Last year, Oren Burks, Fred Johnson, Isaiah Rodgers, those guys were instrumental in you finishing the finish line and crossing the finish line as champions because they stepped in when needed. Sills, it seems to me we might have a quarterback controversy. You see all the Jalenites want him trade right. Hurts better be on his P's and Q's. Come on, Tanner season. Sills, there's no reason why Jaire Alexander wasn't brought in, especially at the cost. Well, how about this one? You guys want to make a trade for Justin Simmons now? Dude, the safeties you have on your football team, one's made of clay, the other guy can't tackle. I don't know what you're thinking here. So I think you're going to put Cooper there. And that will put that to rest on Justin Simmons. But then when you get in nickel, who plays that safety? Sidney Brown and that other kid, Makuba? Dude, Tristan McCullum, in my opinion, is the better player. You know what? He may not be the better tackler. He may not be the better cover guy, but he does everything better than everyone else up there does. You got to go with what you have on your roster. That's another thing. If they thought Cooper could play corner, they'd put him there. You suck there. Maybe he starts getting reps this week against Cleveland. I don't know. Okay? Seals, can we get 3 viable players, cornerback, edge, safety, for a total of, say, $20 million? Judon, Simmons, and Samuel Jr. Man, on August 8th, you had – dude, they're not doing anything for money. Mikey, this offseason they showed you their team was shopping. They're not spending any money. They care about 26 and 27. Mikey, they care about 26 and 27 right now. I don't care about spending money today. It's a great thought. I'm not saying you're wrong. But that's not what they're doing. Big Seals and Merrill Reese would be a good team. Peter, those are incredibly kind words. Thank you. Let's see here. Rick's going to be in the team, but can't be quarterback number 2. Dude, Eli Ricks, he's okay. I mean, he's okay. We're talking about okay players. All right? I told you Gabe Hall would have some sort of rotation. He played a lot last night. I was okay with him for what he was. Don't need to trade for Simmons. He's a free agent. Also, the Eagles should entertain Ringo at safety. Hey, dude, Lucius, it's a nice thought, but I'm not going to try to find a spot for a guy who can't play. Okay? I'm not going to look for a spot for a guy who can't play. Sills, with us going to Cleveland, will you talk to them about the availability of Greg Newsome Jr.? Yes, there's a couple guys in that organization I'm very friendly with. Seals, what about Tanner and Nolan for Chop Robinson? I'm not trading Nolan Smith and Tanner McKee for Chop Robinson. No way. Tanner McKee, you guys just said if Jalen goes down, he could win you a Super Bowl. And Nolan Smith is the only thing you really have at edge. And you want me to go with one player? No way. I am not trading away a guy who you guys just told me could win you a fucking Super Bowl if Hurts goes down. No way am I giving that up for who? Chop Robinson? No way. No, thank you. Nolan Smith's position on the team got stronger last night. What specific position should Howie move for? Dude, I think your safety position's not very good. But that corner was exposed. Dude, Joe Burrow, again, it's not that you're not going to have Q on the field and Cooper on the field. Will that help those guys back there? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you're a corner out there, you're on an island. You can't hide that guy. And here's the thing, too. In zone, he's already 10 yards off the fucking ball. He can't track. Quarterbacks are going to eat that guy up. It doesn't have to be Jamar Chase eating him up. Anybody, that entire first and second team guys got crushed last night. Adoree Jackson, I don't know. It surely doesn't look like how old is that guy? How old is Adoree Jackson? Because he looked like Slade looked younger. I mean, Darius Slade looked younger than that guy. Boy, so here's what you're doing when you're Vic. You play it too high, right? You got Kelee or Adoree off the ball, 10 yards. And you got two guys who can't track. And one guy's soft as tissue. And you really think you're taking fucking people down? No way. And if you don't get pressure on the quarterback, then you accentuate other positions opening up, like tight end and screens and flares. Is Asante Samuel still available? Hey, Jeff, Asante Samuel will not be cheap. He's 26 years old. That guy will not be cheap, and the Eagles are not spending money. Now, here's something to think about. It's a pretty good idea here. Sills, would you trade 2 second-round picks for Denzel Ward if Bennett doesn't pan out? Two twos. Fuck. Man. That's rich, dude. I get you're not wrong. But man, that's a lot. 2 twos if a guy you just traded. And you're going to hope that a trade pans out. And if it doesn't, then you're going to panic with 2 twos? What team's going to trade with the Eagles? Eagles are going to have to send a 2 and a contingent 1 maybe to try to find somebody. Howie is in a position that they created. They created this with these 1-year Timu signings. This is where you are. I said this the entire offseason. You really think you're going to replace every one of those guys? You are fucking high. Now, again, context has to be here. A lot of guys last night are going to make some of these other deficient players and these positions look better. Carter's going to make the linebackers look better. The linebackers last night did not tackle well. But that'll improve when you get Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter up front. That will improve. Nolan Smith with the pressure, that will improve. Okay? The secondary routes will be less and not as matured. What happened last night, guys? What do you think happened last night to the secondary, why they played so bad? You didn't get any pressure from the front and from the edge guys, which created those routes to go like this and to mature to top point. Once you got to the top point, those corners had struggling problems when it came to tracking in zone. I mean, when you have pressure, those routes don't mature. They're cut off in the middle of the zone. Linebackers will drop and they're in the way. That's what you had a year ago with that number 1 defense. Last night's games, dude, why do you think Kelee Ringo got beat? Basically on a 16-yard out wheel route. Why? He was too far off the ball. He can't track. And the pass route was right in his face. And it developed right at the tipping point and at the zenith of the route. Instead of underneath. They didn't, that first group that they went against the Bengals, they didn't keep anything underneath. It was all in their face. And as soon as they caught the ball, the guys were in chase mode. Okay? But who's to say he would have got hurt if he was never traded? You never know. Gardner Johnson did not blow out his he did not blow out his knee, according to reports now. Okay? It is as simple as not practicing live tackling. I think there's a lot to this. The Eagle organization is one of the few that don't do this, and that's why we usually are healthier. Patience. Absolutely. Remember what I said yesterday. Hey, Pump, one of the reasons why we bring topics up, I know some of you just skate over them, but again, they sacrifice readiness versus health. And when I made that comment to you, it just went over some of your ears. Okay? Look, we have an offense that should be able to put up 30 points. Our D should only have to make 3 stops a game. Okay? Mikey, I like that. Thank you for the super. This is really awesome, Abe. Thank you. Dope. Thank you very much. Member for 12 months. Sills, he couldn't even press because he was going to get cooked off the bat. Even given space, he got cooked. And on the curl route, come on, man. Awful. And it wasn't just that one play. No, even the guys who came in after that were making plays on the guy. Now, remember, guys, I want context here. Okay? You put better football players out there on the field. You put better players next to guys, you're going to be better. Common knowledge. Get more versatility in being able to do things. Once again, my point is 35 dudes who have to come. All those guys who dressed last night, you got to find 35 guys who are going to be part of your 50-man roster, 53-man roster. That wasn't just for nothing. Mikey, thank you, bro. Okay? Seals, Ringo can't guard number 3s. I didn't see very many covering of anything last night. Dory Jackson is fucking terrible. That guy, you guys thought we were going to walk in and win that job? Once again, you know what this bullshit comes from? The people that cover that fucking team and try to blow these guys up. And I'm not saying John. I'm talking about those other fucking hacks like ESP that are telling me about all these guys having great practices. Tell you what, you put them in a game, they look like shit. I'm not talking about just against Joe Burrow either. I'm talking against like Jake Browning. I mean, Jake Browning, that ESP guy is a absolute fucking mouthpiece for that Eagle team. I have to give him kudos. You know how to keep a job, son. Walking around on your knees every single day at the NovaCare Center is a great job for you. Absolutely true. Wonderful gig, man. If you don't mind giving up a piece of your soul on giving and talking about really covering a team, then that's a perfect gig for that guy. Walking around on knee pads with Howie's face on them and telling you bullshit all day long like Azeez Ojulari and all these guys. Dude, those guys fucking suck. Kelee Ringo had a good practice. When? They're fucking liars. Not covering that team. Listen, I'll be the only show to talk to you like this. The rest of them will fucking glaze it over and, it's this. It's like I said, 35 guys. You got to find 35 guys, and you got to find rotation pieces. You still got to find a safety in a corner yet. And by the way, the guy Jahad Campbell, I don't know, but the kid Munden, the kid looks better. He looks better. He missed a shitload of tackles too, though. The hell are you guys telling me? I will never believe another goddamn word out of that place. Big guy, how do you feel about the cornerback, Tariq Castro Fields? Swap him with Ringo. He had 2 PBUs in the 4th last night. I mean, Dude, your corner's not on your football team right now. He's just not on your team. I'm not even sure your safety's on your team. I mean, here, a 14th guy is going to play and start? Jesus criminy. Jacorian Bennett might be the second best corner. We don't know it yet. Andrew Makuba, I mean, Jesus criminy, guy, you got to be tougher. I don't know. I really don't know. You're talking to me like, yeah, I mean, whatever. I haven't even got to my fucking topics yet. I think McKee's a really good-looking player. See this dickhead? Who fucking said that, douchebag? Stop crying because we've been right everything we fucking said this offseason. Stop crying. Stop crying. Nobody said that. Stop fucking crying. Trade McKee and some. I'm not trading McKee, dude. Buda Baker? Why would Arizona do that? They got and paying for a guy who's $46 million, who the last time the Cardinals played you, he beat you. Why would they do that? They wouldn't do that. They're looking to get another wide receiver in the building. For $3 million, we could have kept Rodgers. I heard John talking about Rodgers. Rodgers is going to get an opportunity to start in Minnesota at $7 million. Okay? $7 million. He signed a contract. I think it was an $18 million deal. I might be wrong. You guys can correct me on that. Dude, the Gardner Johnson and Slay moves look awful right now. They just look awful. Aside from the negativity, wait a minute. I told you your quarterback, hey, I'll give you another reach around, Tyree, so it'll make you feel fucking better about yourselves, and then you can hold your own nuts. Okay? I told you your quarterback played great. Your O-line played great. Your wide receivers looked absolutely fabulous. Your run game was really good last night. Unless you don't like being spoken to the truth to, and you like reach-arounds, our show's not for you. With all that being said, how about my boy Johnny Wilson going and snagging passes? All head tap. Absolutely true. I go, hey, Tyree, negativity? You only hear the negativity because I gave you a lot of kudos last night for talking on how good a lot of players played. Darius Cooper played well. I hate to have to quantifying my fucking takes because you don't like, or not you, but people don't like to hear my analyzing of what I saw last night. Tyree, and I'm not picking on you. By the way, I appreciate the super, brother. Thank you. But don't fucking sit here and tell me negativity. There were a lot of good things that were done last night. How could you not see it? I'm not sure what you guys listen to. If the only thing you're waiting for is me to talk negative instead of giving the kudos of what we say about players that we've talked about. Jesus criminy, man. Come on, Tyree. That's not what we just spent an hour and 20 minutes on. That's exactly what we saw. You don't like it, and all you heard was negativity? Well, then I guess that's a you thing. Because that's not what I saw last night. I saw good, bad, and the ugly. Did you not hear me open my show that way? Good, bad, and the ugly. D is trash. No, it's not trash. You don't, again, context. Those players who look mediocre will play good with great players next to them. Schemes will fit better. Play calls will be better. Okay? It will be. Situational play calling will be better. By the way, Tyree, I'm not picking on you, man. All right? I'm not. Season's over. Tell you all, it's not. I mean, look, that is not. Okay, now here's something that's true. Sills, I'm worried though. Okay. Because, Nick, is this fair to say one of the things and some of the things that you're worried about were some of the overestimating of players' abilities to fit right in right away? Remember what we said? We questioned that. And because you guys, here's the problem. And Xander was right when he touted this. Doesn't Howie Roseman deserve the benefit of the doubt? You gave it to him. And you're still giving it to him. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Isn't this where you are? You gave him the benefit that moving off of Gardner Johnson's okay. You gave him the benefit of moving off of Slay. You gave him the benefit of moving off of Josh Sweat. Here's my problem with that Josh Sweat move. You were paying Bryce Huff $17 million. Got rid of him. You mean to tell me you couldn't pay an extra $2 million for Josh? Josh only got $19 million. He made $2 million more than what you paid Bryce Huff. Really, that much more was an issue to bring that guy back for 2 more years? Okay, albeit. And then you went out and got Ojulari and Uche, who look like they're no-shows in camp. Shields, do you think that the Seahawks would entertain a trade for Tariq Woolen and try to find a safety, or do they wait out the season for 26? I really don't know Seattle. Well, their GM I know very well, John Schneider. That he's open to anything. He's like the West Coast version of Howie. Okay, he's like the West Coast version. He might. I don't know. He might. Thank you. Love the fair criticism. Thanks for pointing out our deficiencies. In your show with Mark and Philly 500 are hilarious. Keep dishing them up. Thank you. Hey, Doobie. Again, I want it to be I want you to think though that there were good things last night. Hey, and by the way, to be fair to Kelee Ringo, that is Jamar Chase. But the problem that you have with that is, what if you take on a football team that has good wide receivers at both Y and Z? Like, check this out. Kelee Ringo is not going to be a problem in the Kansas City game. He's going to be a problem in the Dallas game. He'll be a problem in the Ram game. And he'll clearly be a problem in the Bucs game. You've got Godwin and Mike Evans. You've got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Q can only travel with one guy. He can't cover 2 guys at one time. So you're going to be okay in a way. And you could scheme it up in a way where you could cover your deficiency out there. Safety is easier to cover than corner when it comes to your deficiencies because you're on an island. You have nobody deep behind you unless you cheat the free safety over, and that creates a bigger zone in the middle for backers to have to cover. You feel me? When you have deficiencies, you open the zone more at the top of the zone or at the bottom of the zone. It just depends where those deficiencies. And if you get no pass rush, then all of that is open because the routes get to their zenith and they mature at the top end. Pressure will be essential this year. Last year, you had limited space. How many times did you watch last year when you were watching your defensive football team? And you said this, where the fuck are teams going to throw the ball? There's no space. With what you have now, with a safety and corner. And by the way, do me a favor, Vic. Pick a fucking spot for the kid. Don't be dicking around trying. Put Cooper in the best chance and spot you think he's going to help you at. If you put him at safety and that nickel can't cover, who you putting in the nickel? McWilliams? Sidney Brown? Sidney Brown can't tackle. What was the one thing a year ago that you were so good at? The tackling from the 23 season went from a 1 to a 10. Yes, this is another great point. Patillo's play calling last night was exceptional. I thought the quarterback, the communication, I thought all of that went well. They got to play in on time. The quarterback saw the field. They got to the snap count early. What you're looking for with a young player with a lot of seconds and thirds, you want to see how fast he gets to the line of scrimmage and he absorbs what the play is. That's the quarterback's noggin and his smarts. When you get to the line of scrimmage and you still got 10 seconds or 12 seconds to get the play off, you're ahead of the sticks. Defense has to settle back because what you're trying to do is you're trying to speed the game up for the quarterback to have to make a decision inside of 10 seconds. Remember, you got to set the O-line. Set. Can't move. Pre-snap shit's all over with, and you get to move your defense around pre- and post-snap defensively. And I thought he did a great job of that last night. Got to the line of scrimmage. Play came in on time. I'll tell you one thing, too, about McKee. He sees the field fucking great. He's got that guy needs reps. I mean, he needs reps. I'm going to play a game with Xander in a bit about how many places that guy could start in the NFL. Okay? There is no doubt. Now, look, preseason game number 1. Fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, do I think there's – no, it's not that I think right now things can't be better and will not be better because adding better players to the team and to the defense, that's going to just get better because you're adding better players, your starters, right? So I wouldn't get into a tizzy, but once again, like I said, you got to figure out a corner and a safety. You got to figure out a rotating linebacker. You got to figure out your rotation and edge. Let's just hypothetically say that Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith are good edges. Well, who's the third and fourth guy when you don't have them on your football team right now? One of those guys go down. Who are you playing? Ojulari? He'll get murdered. Who are you playing? You got question marks at 3 positions. And I would, like I said, I would put them in this order. Corner, safety, and edge. I think edge is a concern, but I think it's corner and safety. Exactly what, again, replacing all those players, we need to see them in the Dallas game. Because right now, the guys that are battling for jobs are not very good. Now, look, Trotter, I thought he was okay. Missed some tackles. I thought he was okay. Now, he'll play better when he has better defensive tackles in front of him. And my question would be, if you put a shitty safety next to Reed Blankenship, does he look like Reed Blankenship 23? Or do you think Reed's place in the secondary got stronger last night and his economics got stronger last night because of what they're looking at with safety? I think it got stronger last night. I think if you're Reed Blankenship's attorneys and his agent, that was a win for you last night. You won that. You're like, hey, you need my ass back there. Okay? I'm not trading McKee for anybody. Ward or Newsome. You're talking Cleveland. So, again, I'm going to ask you, Kyle, if Hurts goes down and you need that guy to win you a Super Bowl, 90% of you said that guy could win a Super Bowl for you. Are you really selling that for a corner? I mean, they should have drafted another corner. Or why haven't you put Cooper out there? If you suck that bad at a premium position, why aren't you putting him out there? So what are you going to do? Put him out there against Dallas without any practicing? So sometimes the best moves are the moves you don't make. Let's take a breath here. We need to act, not overreact. Exactly. Nobody's saying anything other than that. Let's see how these guys handled the coaching after the film from the game. Absolutely true. Are you going to learn from what you saw? I sure hope so. But here's the difference, Bob. Kelee Ringo can't fix his deficiencies as a player when you can't track guys. That's the essential job. Get this. Bob, would you agree with this? Kelee Ringo's a better athlete than Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers is a better ball player at corner because he can track. Can he tackle? Not the best. Can he get guys on the ground? Yes. I'll tell you one thing. He's a better football player than Sidney Brown, Adoree Jackson, or Kelee Ringo. He's a better football player than those two guys, those three guys. He's just a better football player. Okay? See this here? Once again, guys, he misses the point. 35 men will be picked from that game last night to make your football team. There's only 53 men. It's over 60% of your roster was playing last night. You get that, right? Right? I thought Steen had a nice block. Sills, at this point, who gives a damn if you're a better athlete? That's a fact. That's right. Because this is one of the reasons why Kelee Ringo's not really have been a factor on the Eagles. You know what the Eagles see in him? Can I tell you what I think about Kelee Ringo as of today, August 8th? He's a combine freak. That's it. And once again, the Eagles look at a combine guy, and they think highly of him, and he's a combine guy. He's not a football player. He's a combine guy. Okay? You put that guy on a football team, and you keep him on your team. This is 3 years. I asked you yesterday, how do you think the development has gone with that guy? Well, it was on display last. Now, again, I'm not looking at the Jamar Chase touchdown that he gave up. The simple tackle and getting him on the ground, playing in space. You got to be a good tackler in space when you're playing corner, especially when you're taking on the top wideouts. You're going to have that exact moment throughout the entire season, and he failed. Now, will he get better? You're assuming. I thought he was okay. I thought he played all right. I didn't think he was exceptional. I thought he was okay. You know, I mean, got off some blocks, made some plays. He gave him a ton of work last night. Okay, I do. I think he's okay. We told you this a couple weeks ago that he was going to be in the rotation. I didn't know they were working on a trade sending Thomas Booker to the Raiders. I had heard something, but I didn't know that they were trading him. That tells you that Gabe Hall has made some noise, and he'll be in that rotation. Okay? Sills, it should have never been a TD. Ringo blew it. Hey, it's Jamar Chase. You know, it's funny. I tell my daughter this all the time. When you are playing at a high level and you're playing against great football players, you know what you're hoping for? If there's 50 plays, you're hoping you have 51 plays that are better. Okay? Because that's the mark of an all-pro. You're playing against all pros. playing against great players, great quarterbacks. When you got Burrow and Chase, that's the elite of the NFL. Ringo's elite? No, of course not. Again, okay, they'll be better with better players on the field. All right. Mike North will join us. That'll be at 4:30. Also, Mike Golic's going to join us at 5:30. Okay? I thought Xander did a great job yesterday. I mean, taking you through the football game, post-game comments from the game last night, this morning on Birds 365. Make sure you guys are all plugged in. It's Cleveland Browns coming up. They have that scrimmage this coming week also. And then they'll play, I believe, next Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, against the Cleveland Browns. And there'll be some good work there for Mulata and with Lane Johnson, with Myles Garrett. Those guys all really respect one another a lot. Okay, without further ado, did a great job last night. Our boy, Big Z, Xander Krauss joins us now. How you doing?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
Absolutely fabulous. All right, Xander, what's your takeaways last night?
Incredible game for a lot of reasons. One of the more fun preseason games I can remember. I think overall I was just enjoying watching it. Darius Cooper should be on the football team. Don't try and sell me some song that he shouldn't. That kid can play. And Tanner McKee can flat out play. I mean, that kid deserves to be a starting quarterback. I'm not saying it's going to be here in Philly, but that kid's going to be a starting quarterback one day. The way he reads the field, the pocket presence for a guy that's 6'6" and isn't, great with the running stuff. Thought he really felt the pressure well. Can throw on the run, got a great arm, great timing. I mean, he was on the money. There's no doubt about it. He was on the money. And then cornerback, we got a big issue. Coming into the year right now. I'm not ready to fully count out Ringo just yet, but at some point you got to show something. At some point you got to show me something. I know it was Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, probably the best tandem in the league, but got to show me something. And then Sidney Brown, I'm a little worried about. I mean, guy can't rap. Guy's a really strong dude, plays football in a good physical way, but if you can't rap and you're going to get hurt tackling, you're not going to be in a good position to play in the NFL in a long-term timeline. So questions there, questions at corner. Love Darius Cooper. Loved Tanner McKee.
How about the edges?
Edges were a no-show. Did you see an edge make a play outside of Patrick Johnson?
No.
I didn't see an edge make a play last night. I didn't see Josh Uche. I saw him pressure the quarterback once when he rolled out to the right.
Right.
That's it. I didn't see Ojulari anywhere to be found.
You understand?
Robinson was positive.
Okay, it was. And remember something. I think that was the benefactor, him being a benefactor of having Mulata and Lane going against, and he was going against a lesser player. That played out last night. Yeah. What people aren't getting, Xander, is that 35 men will be taken off that field last night that you saw.
Yeah, I love that perspective by you.
Over 60% of your roster is playing last night.
Yeah, I love that perspective by you because most people just default to, preseason stupid, doesn't give a shit. Who cares about it? But you're right. Half the damn team, more than half the team.
More than half
is out there.
Was playing last night.
Yeah, it's a good take. And honestly, speaking from that perspective in the macro, I feel like the team's got better depth than I thought. I mean, I'm not saying they were all worthy of a starting spot, but I saw some guys out there who could play football last night. Like I didn't see a whole lot of stiffs until the fourth quarter. I saw some dudes that, all right, maybe they're battling, maybe they're bottom of the roster right now, or fighting for on the bubble, but I saw some dudes that can play ball for sure. Now there are certain spots that are weaker than others, but I definitely thought overall it was a pretty good showing from our backups.
What'd you make of the running back group?
Loved it. How about AJ Dillon?
Yeah.
Dude,
5'4".
And I've known him as a player that's been very physical, which is great. I mean, he, that's one thing we brought. But how about a little bit of that shiftiness? Making a couple guys miss. I'm like, all right, this guy's got a little bit more in the arsenal than just put your shoulder down and ram somebody. So I thought AJ Dillon was good. I like the kid toward the end, Keelan Robinson, who I thought played pretty well, ran the ball hard. Will Shipley obviously had that big run early in the game, but Will Shipley wasn't the best part about that run. It was Tyler
Steen.
Yeah, beautiful seal off. Almost reminded me of the way Becton sealed that hole off. So I thought that was a good positive there as well.
How about this? Tanner McKee destroyed that Cincinnati Bengals starting defensive football team and Al Golden. That's the group that they're going to line up an opening week with was out there. McKee went through them like Swiss cheese, bro. I mean, he was just fucking everywhere. So
you know what makes Tanner so good is it's up here more than it's the
right.
arm is great. He's got a good arm talent, but he reads a defense, dissects, in the head. You can see him go through the progression.
He processes better.
He processes so quickly, and when you have that, and the ability to deliver the ball, you're going to be a competent quarterback.
I'm going to make a comment to you, and I'm going to try. Listen. I'm going to make a comment to you about Tanner McKee versus Hurts. I think Hurts has more in the toolbox to be able to beat teams than what Tanner does. Tanner is more limited because he's got to win in the pocket, and he's got to win because he's limited with mobility. Yeah. Whereas Hurts has more in the toolbox.
Yeah, with the arm, with the legs.
More of a threat to win a game and more difficult to defend. But my point would be, he processes better in the pocket. I think he's more accurate. I think that he made I've never seen Johnny Wilson and Anais Smith. I'm not even calling him Anus any longer because he showed up last night. And I thought the kid made everyone around him look better. Not that Jalen doesn't. I'm just saying as a pocket
it looks
guy,
different with Jalen.
Okay, as a pocket guy, he looks like he's more skilled as a passer from that pocket than what Hurts does. Again, that doesn't mean he's better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he looks more of the traditional set of how you win ball games. If you're going to have a guy that's going to be a pocket presence quarterback, he's more Brady-like in a way. Brady can't run. Manning can't run.
He's definitely like a traditional quarterback, better at being a traditional quarterback than her. I don't think that's even a knock at all. That would be like saying,
it's not.
That would be like saying, Brady's is an awful runner, and you take offense to that.
Lamar Jackson is a better
does things differently. There's no doubt. I mean,
Lamar Jackson is an all-around better player than Tom Brady.
I probably disagree with one.
Tom Brady's a better quarterback, though.
I probably disagree with the accuracy part. I think Jalen's been real accurate, which is one of the things I think he's improved on the most in his career. I've seen him make some really tight window throws, but I do agree from a processing standpoint and a timing standpoint. I think Tanner's just – remember, here's the other thing.
You think it's because he's taller?
Well, no, I think it's for this reason, okay? And I don't even think it's inherent in Jalen, and he can't do it. Jalen has gone through his entire life being able to run around everybody that's on the field. From high school to college, he's probably been the best guy on the field, more athletic than the next guy, faster than the next guy, can put a move on him, and can make a play. Tanner McKee couldn't do that. Tanner McKee, his whole life, has had to beat teams from the pocket, which means what's the exponential growth of that on a growth curve for somebody that does that their entire life, and it's their only way to get good at being a good quarterback is to do it from the pocket, versus a guy like Jalen, who's been able to beat teams in so many different ways. Again, it's not a knock on Hurts. It shows you the two different styles of play that they have.
This is a style thing. And by the way, when I said taller, I meant because he sees the field more.
Yeah, I know what
Hurts
you meant.
Hurts is 6'1".
I know what you meant. Hurts is short, and we got a big O-line, dude.
Right.
We got a big O-line.
6'6". You're going to see and process better when you're tall like that. I've told you before, I think Hurts is one of the smartest guys in the National Football League at the quarterback position. I think that's one of the total traits that they did by getting those quarterbacks. They got smart guys back there, man. And it was on display here. How you feeling about the wide receiver room after last night a little bit? How do you feel outside of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? Do you feel pretty good about it?
I feel like we got a guy that you can line up on the outside.
I feel like you got a few dudes.
I thought Jahan Dotson looked better.
Yeah, I thought he was good too.
He ran with confidence, ran a good route, nice cut to the middle, good run after the catch, created good separation. That Darius Cooper, dude, like I've had so many people say, it's just preseason. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit what it is. That dude can play football. All right. I don't really give a shit what it is. I don't care if it's a practice. That guy can play ball. Some dudes you look at and you say, that guy knows how to play. He was Sills, did you look up the numbers he had at Tarleton State? Yeah. Now, I know it's Tarleton State, but all right, now he's doing it in the NFL in the preseason game. How many times are we going to quantify what the guy can do on the field by giving you oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because he played at Tarleton State. Oh, it's because it's I don't give a shit. That guy created created space. That guy created separation. That guy used his hands. That guy was a physical player. That guy can play. I want that guy on our football team. I'll be real pissed if they cut him, and he'll get picked up quick.
Do you know why? I heard John talking about why he got looked over. The National Football League doesn't recruit HBCU schools or Division I AA very well.
Is Charleston State an HBCU?
No, it's a 1AA school.
1AA? Okay.
Okay, so Xander, nowadays with the nil and the transfer portal, look where Howie hangs out.
Yeah.
Howie hangs out in the SEC.
Yeah, and
he
even
And as a matter of fact, this guy's a UDFA. He didn't draft him.
And it's not just Howie. Look across the league.
No, across the league.
Right. John, I love that John called that out too. He's like, every time I ever talk to a scout, they've always told me one thing: never scout the helmet. And then you got this guy who becomes an undrafted free agent. He was like, second or third in the college football last year for receiving. Again, D1 AA. So, but that's scouting the helmet. That kid can play. And by the way, I like his mentality. His interview after the game was awesome. He gets up there, nobody knows who the hell he is. Says his name, says where he played college ball, says it's one thing, and I'm happy to be here. I mean, and then he threw in that Sirianniism. All right, did you hear that? He threw in a little Sirianniism. You can't be great without the greatness of others. I'm like, this guy deserves to be here.
He kind of has a skill set to me, a little bit of Deebo Samuel.
Dude, I said between Deebo and AJ. Now, not from a talent. I said that to Johnny.
No, I know what you're saying.
I meant
you're talking skill set.
Stockier dude like Deebo.
Yeah, you're talking.
And he plays physical on the outside like AJ. Again, it doesn't mean he's as good. No. There's plenty of guys that model their game after players.
That doesn't mean you're comparing him to
that. Yeah, but I think that's what I saw in terms of just the comp. Yeah, just the comp for the way he played in the body. Yeah.
How do you think Kevin Patillo did in play calling last night?
Thought he looked good, man. Thought he looked. I always say there's like an eye test I use on coordinator. Some guys look like they. That was one of the things I hated about Kellen Moore. Guy just looked like a nerd on the side. He just didn't look like a football coordinator. Like when you look at Vic Fangio, you're like, yeah, that's a DC. You look at even Steve Spagnuolo, you're like, that's a fucking DC right there. I looked at Patillo last night. I'm like, hey, he looks like he looks like a football guy to me. He looks like a coach to me. And I thought more importantly, he called a good game. I like the route concepts. I don't know if that's because it was Tanner and he plays the game a different way and you need to obviously draw him up, but I loved it. I mean, I thought he used the middle of the field. Thought he ran the ball well, used play action very well. Didn't just keep Tanner stuck in the pocket, rolled him out a little bit. I thought Patillo had a great night.
What do you think Vic's thinking right now?
That he needs a cornerback.
Okay.
And he needs a safety.
Yeah.
Now my question and he probably needs an edge rusher too, because let's be real. Yeah. I was high on Uche, but Uche and Ojulari, they were like nowhere to be found.
Rank those. Corner, safety, edge. What do you say? Give me a ranking of
probably corner one for me, because while I am worried about the edge, I feel like we're going to have good pressure up the middle. So again, it's not ideal. Like you want pressure off the edges too, but you want pressure. And I'm pretty confident that Jalen Carter and Ajoma are going to get some pressure from the interior. Does that mean the outside is going to be great? No, it doesn't. But it would mean that I'm more worried about the corner, because you saw how quick you can change a game when you have a corner that can't cover. I mean, if you have that in a playoff game, a touchdown like that turns the game on its head. If you don't get home to the quarterback, all right, you can live to see another down.
Yes.
You do not want a guy on defense that gives up splash plays like that over and over again. And I know John tried to write it off as, look, this is the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the league. I agree with that. That doesn't mean I want you to look like a toast.
Yeah, what about the other guys that were working him over?
Yeah, there was a couple other guys.
Adoree Jackson was fucking.
Adoree Jackson was worse, by the way. He stinks.
There's no doubt that Ringo gave up the plus 25, but dude, that guy played off the ball. He couldn't tackle, and get this, it looked like he was almost afraid to tackle. I mean, he just looked soft to me. How do you think Trotter played?
I thought Trotter played all right. I mean, he was, he was good at
I think a lot of the guys in front of him had a lot to do with some of the inconsistency a little bit, maybe that you saw in there as well. That'll change when you have Carter and Davis in there. You know what I mean? Okay, you're not going to have some of those guys in their lap. So you think Trotter was good?
I thought he was good. I didn't think he was anything crazy up here or anything down here. I thought he kind of was a middle guy, saying it right in there.
How about Jahad Campbell?
Probably some questions there. Probably some. I mean, I thought he looked good. I think he was around the ball a lot. Clearly has athletic prowess. Clearly an NFL player.
Could see
But
his hand.
I think in terms of him being up to speed and ready to contribute in year one, might have some questions about that. I mean, Munden played more than him. I don't know if it's because they're protecting him more. Munden was out there first before him. I don't know what that means, if anything at all.
It's a playbook.
What's that?
I think it's a playbook thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm wondering.
Which
Is weird because he's a defensive player that played. He was one of the last Saban guys. Saban's a defensive guy first, remember?
Yep.
And Saban loved him. So I didn't think picking up things from a defensive schematic standpoint would be his dilemma. But it might be. I mean, look, Vic is a tough scheme, but Munden seems to have picked it up well.
Yeah. I think Vic's scheme compared to Saban's scheme is a little bit more tighter run than it is with Saban. I think Saban allows his guys to freelance a tad bit more, and you get guys like Will Anderson and those guys. You ever wonder why sometimes, Xander, some of those guys come into the NFL and they're not quite what they look like when they were at Alabama? You know why? I don't think Nick really has his guys on defense. I think they can freelance more. I think when you get into the NFL, I don't think you can freelance as much. And I think that limits some of those guys. I mean, if you look at some of the top defensive players that he's come out, Will Anderson, Hightower was good. Surtain is good.
Yeah.
I mean, who else?
Brian Branch, safety.
Okay.
Good player in Detroit. There's a couple others. I probably don't have them all.
But that's 17 years.
Yeah. Well, no, I know that. I mean, there's probably more I could come up with, but I hear you. It's nothing right. Crazy.
We're not talking about look, I think Branch is a great player.
Minkah Fitzpatrick is a good one by Kyle. Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of guys. I mean,
okay, so who do you think starts in the opener?
Where?
Linebacker.
At linebacker, Trotter and Bond. I don't think they're going to go off that. I think Trotter's played well enough to keep him on the field. Like I view Trotter, obviously not like from a long-term perspective, but for this year as like an Oren Burks. But instead of playing at the end of the year, you're playing at the beginning of the year. I think he's going to be a steady force. I don't think he's going to be this crazy big splash player. I don't think he's going to be the best linebacker on the field. I don't think he's going to dominate games, but I think he's going to be very solid. And I think that's what you want from a player like that. And then I wonder what they'll go to. I mean, you got to wonder, what's the best opportunity for a fifth-round player in year two? All you want is to be on the field. He has an opportunity. I'm not saying he's going to take it or not. Dude, if you play good enough, they're not going to take you off the field. That's how it works. So Trotter can go out there and maybe earn himself some long-term playing time with this team, and it's going to be curious to see. But I do think he'll be the starter week one.
I want to read you this here, Xander. By the way, guys, hit the like button. Supers go to the top. We'll read them at the end here. Xander. And then we'll do that exercise about Tanner McKee here in a minute, too. Where is Cooper DeJean trending towards lining up this year? Safety, corner, or nickel after last night's first exhibition game? Where do you think the need is more for him?
Probably safety.
Or do you think they're thinking that way? The need for the team. Remember what Vic says, the roster will dictate where he's
right. And I think ideally they want him to stay in the nickel. I do. I think they would like for the safety to pan out so that they don't have to move him. But when you talk about a Vic Fangio scheme, he would probably be most beneficial this year at safety. I think. At least I think that's what Vic would want him to do. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see him stay in the slot one more year, because he was so damn good there. But that would mean that the safeties are panning out. I mean, what's more important to Vic? I don't know. That's a question he would have to answer. I can't speak for him, but I kind of want to see Cooper on the outside, honestly. I really do. I know people have an issue with that.
Don't you think if they thought he could play that, they put him out there?
Well, he also is one corner. Like, not every corner has as versatile a skill set as he does. So in a sense, it's not to say he couldn't be out there.
You think he's a corner?
I think he could play corner. Do you think he couldn't play corner, really?
No, I know. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But I have to think that if they thought he could play it, they'd put him out there and give him some reps during camp, wouldn't they have?
You would,
or maybe last night.
Not like my point with it is not every cornerback has the skill set he does. Quinyon Mitchell probably wouldn't be as good at safety or slot.
Yeah,
Like
but you're
Cooper has this
identifying.
versatile skill set where you can use him all over the place. So he's more valuable on the inside, even though in theory, outside's a more valuable spot.
See, but for me, I never identified him as a corner. I identified him as a safety. You're identifying him as a corner. That's why you think he can play out there.
I think he's a secondary guy.
I don't identify him like that. I never did when you drafted him.
I think he's a secondary guy. I think he's a great guy in the secondary, sees the field well. And look, I mean, he is a versatile player from a sense of you want him around the ball.
I've never seen a safety move the corner. I've seen corners move the safety. I mean, that's just been my kind of – now, hey, he may change the room. Xander, he might change the room. I don't know. I mean, look.
I'll answer the question. Do you think he can play outside cornerback or not?
Do I think so after watching him a year ago? Yeah. In the zone?
So why isn't they putting him out there?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
because I think he's more valuable at spots, different spots of the defense.
Last night may predicate them putting him out there now.
Look, most corners, I agree with you, where if they put him on the inside, you would think, okay, it's because he can't play outside. I don't think that's actually the case with Cooper. I think it's the rare side of he's so good around the ball. We would rather him be here because he brings more overall to the defense, and we would rather put a guy who can play zone corner well on the other side. Now, Adoree Jackson's not that guy. It doesn't look like Ringo's that guy. So now you've got questions about that. I don't know. I don't think Cooper DeJean would struggle on the outside. I really don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. I think the kid would be good.
Why haven't they put him there?
Because what do you give up to put him there?
Well, don't you think it's easier to cover a safety than it is a corner?
It is, but does Vic Fangio's scheme benefit more from a player like Cooper at a different position, safety or slot?
What do you think Vic fears more getting beat by, on the numbers or in the middle of the field? Probably the middle of the field. That's why probably Cooper's playing in the middle.
Right, which is what I'm kind of talking about.
The middle of the field is more important to Vic.
That's what I mean. It might be more valuable for Vic to say, I'd rather lock down one side with Quignon and the middle of the field with Cooper and leave one spot open than say, I want to lock down both of the outsides, and now I got a gaping hole in the middle with a bad safety and a bad slot.
I got to make this comment to you here, man. Sidney Brown can't tackle. He's just, I mean, who are you more concerned about right now, Kelee Ringo or Sidney Brown?
Probably Kelee Ringo. From an on the field. Sidney Brown, I'm worried about the injury. I don't think he can stay healthy.
Right now, you said something today that was so fucking good about Kelee Ringo. I saw it too. As soon as Chase gave him a fucking shake, he stopped his feet, and the guy was in position to make the fucking play. Make the fucking play. You had it. You were there. You read it. You did it right. You didn't flip your hips. He just fucking walked the wheel route around you. You got to make that play.
I was joking last night. I'm like, it's a Kentucky Derby for him. He's got getting kicked up with the dirt in the face.
Bro,
dude, a 10-yard out route should never end in a touchdown.
No.
It might end in a completion. It should not end in a touchdown.
I mean, he could have backstepped in. Bro, you can't have that. You got to – your job as a corner is to make plays like that in open space. I want to show you something here, Xander. Guys, play along with me here, okay? Guys, hit the like button here. Then we'll get to the super chats here. Don't forget also, you guys love Mike North. He's a huge Jalen Hurts and Eagle fan. The legendary Chicago sports talk guy will join us at 30, and then Mike Golic will join us, get his spin on the Eagles. That'll be at 5:30. How many teams do you believe that Tanner McKee right now could possibly play for? So we're going to go through a little exercise here. He's not starting in Buffalo.
No.
You think he's starting in Miami? He'd be more reliable.
I don't know if he would start Miami. Probably.
I'm going to go, yeah. I'd start him over Tua.
Damn, making me go against my Alabama boy. Yeah, probably.
You know, but Xander, you know why only? Because I can't count on him for 17.
I know. Believe me, I know. I know, man.
Okay.
I know.
It's not because I think that he throws a better. I just think that the durability. How about this one here? Do you think he could start New York with the Jets?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, if I'm the Jets, I'm calling.
Now, let's see here now. Do you think he can start in Cleveland?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I do.
I do
You got
too.
Shador, you got Dylan Gabriel, you got Joe Flacco, you got Kenny Flickett. I think that's Tanner McKee's job.
I don't think he could start in Pittsburgh over Rodgers.
No, not at this point.
No,
But they'd be smart to go for him too, because you put him on the bench for a year behind Rodgers, and then you got a quarterback.
you're not starting him at Cincinnati. Okay. Are you starting him in Indianapolis?
Yeah, they got Daniel Jones right now and Anthony Richardson, who has literally proven fucking nothing.
You starting him over Geno Smith in Las Vegas?
Geno's done a lot more.
Okay, so no.
Well, what would you do?
Where am I going with Geno?
Yeah, well, if you're going on a long-term timeline, you want to win a game, you probably go with Geno. You want to take
I want to build my team. I'm going with Tanner.
You probably go youngster. You probably go Tanner.
Right. I want to build my team around this guy.
You probably go Tanner.
Vegas. Okay. Let's see here. So let's go down. Here's another one. New York Giants.
Who do they got? Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson?
And Jameis Winston.
Probably not yet.
Yeah, because of Dart, right?
Well, they drafted Dart. I think Russell Wilson probably, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely past his prime, obviously. Jameis Winston is what he is.
Here's another one for you. Ready for this one? Okay. You start him over J.J. McCarthy?
Hell yeah, I would. Are you kidding me? He would be – can you imagine him with Addison and Jefferson? He'd be cooking. They got a good line up there in Minnesota too, man. That's a good team.
Brian Flores on defense?
I would be calling if I were them. Are you kidding me? That team is a Super Bowl contender with Tanner McKee.
What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. So let's go here now to another one. How about Atlanta?
Who do they got? That Penix dude? Just because I'm a Michael Penix hater, then I'm saying yes. I'm not a Penix fan at all. I'm not a hater. I'm just not a fan.
I don't think the guy's good. How about
what has he done to get this treatment? I don't know. He drafted 8th overall.
How about New Orleans?
Hell yeah, that's an easy one. What do they got?
Okay.
Tyler Shuck?
Okay. How about Carolina? Another Bama guy. Here's another Bama take.
Well, look, I'm a Bama guy, but I'm also got to be objective. I mean, Bryce Young is, he's like 5'9". I mean, you probably don't want that in the long term, but they spent a first overall pick on him. I don't think he would go there and actually start because of that. But I think in theory, he's probably, I don't know. Bryce is good. He's just small. Bryce is good. He reads well. He's a good quarterback.
He had a really good game.
Really small, dude. He's really small.
I'm gonna say no. He's not gonna beat him out yet. Okay?
Yeah, I think no there too.
How about this? Seattle beating out Sam Darnold?
Probably not. Not after what Darnold did last year. I mean, he did lead his team to 14 wins. I mean, he had a great year last year.
He did.
Look at Underdog. How about in Philly? Underdog, I knew you'd be in here. Underdog, if there's one day I knew you were showing up, it's fucking today, brother.
How about Arizona?
I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray guy in the world, so I'd probably go, Get Tanner McKee to Marvin. Now, he's not better than Kyler. It's a preference thing for me there.
Yeah, but
would you start him over Kyler?
I would.
Kyler's got more talent, though.
Don't you see a little bit of kind of the skill sets of Brock Purdy and Tanner McKee a little bit, how they command the huddle? Purdy's better. I'm not starting him over Purdy either, but I see that kind of guy. I see that in the pocket, smart.
There's no doubt that Tanner has had control of that offense last night. I mean, great. He had an understanding of where everybody was. I mean, he was good.
You know what the most impressive thing was last night? He got to play in so fast. He got to the line of scrimmage. He had 12 seconds to set the offensive line. Dude, he got to the line of scrimmage, man. He processed that information so fucking fast last night, and you can see it. By the way, he doesn't have shitty feet. He drops back.
Would you take Tanner McKee or Brock Purdy right now to start a franchise?
it's jaded because I've seen Brock Purdy play, but I'll tell you
I
what.
don't give a shit. You've seen Jalen Hurts play too. Who would you take? I would take McKee.
I really like the kid Purdy. I mean, I
know you do. You have like a weird hard-on for Purdy.
But I love the size of Tanner. That's 6'7". He's, you know what that is? That 6'7" is like
Brock Purdy is 6'7".
Like Roethlisberger kind of
like
shit.
Like you said, though, he's Purdy 6'7".
Man, I like 6'7". And guys beat little dudes up, dude.
I know you do. I know you do.
Okay.
So I've been listening to you for 5 years with when it comes to the quarterback side.
Plus, he can see over the middle of the field. Man, that's a tough one. I hate to go against my boy Purdy, but
I knew Twiz would pick up on that one.
I'm gonna go fucking San Fran. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 teams. That guy could start right now. Now, the big conversation today was this, Xander. Xander, would you trade him for a corner, an established corner, and another draft pick to get an established corner? Now, before you answer this, let me ask you this. Do you believe that Tanner McKee could pull off a Nick Foles if you guys fucking end up losing Hurts for the playoffs? Do you think he could win you a Super Bowl? I do.
Why am I not surprised that you say
Well,
that?
no, because they would they would run the ball.
All right, look, Tanner McKee had a good game. I'm like not ready to say the guys could win us a Super Bowl, but like I think the team is good. He clearly has
5 games. I'm not talking 17 games.
I happen to think McKee has more upside than Foles.
The only thing Foles had, remember, he had an all-pro season.
Foles had a plus factor. That's what this is the thing we don't know about McKee, and we'll never know until he's in this situation. There's a lot of good, and you'll hear Mike North probably talk about it in 20-something minutes. There's a lot of quarterbacks that look really good in the regular season, and then the lights get bright, and they can't win a football game. Now, I've never seen Tanner McKee. I'm not saying he can or can't do it.
I saw him last year. I thought he was pretty impressive in that game that he was in.
He wasn't in any playoff game last year.
Nope, not playoff game, but I saw him get a first start, and I didn't think he looked awful in that first.
I'm talking about when put up, when it's put up or shut up time.
I got it.
How can he do it? How can he do?
You think Tanner McKee is better than Kyle Trask, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Kyle Trask has been in the league 5 years.
Well, what do you ask him then about McKee?
Okay, what I'm saying is I see more in that guy in one fucking year of play from last year to right now than I've seen in 5 years with Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask thinks. They got Baker, though. Baker's a good quarterback.
He's a second round. No, my point is that guy's not starting anywhere except the UFL. This guy here has a shot at being somebody here. I think this guy, get this, because the Eagles are a run team. How about this? The way that defense played last year. And do you think that guy, Tanner McKee, could have kept that Super Bowl close with the way that defense played?
Yeah, I do.
I'm not saying they win, but could he have kept? Well, isn't that what you're looking for? I'm not trading that. I'm not trading that away.
Because the Eagles defense literally held the Chiefs
right.
To. They didn't get past the 50 until the.
That's the only reason why I'm saying the guy could keep the game close.
McKee would win it. I mean, I think that was, I don't know. I hate these because you always get me into saying some shit. Then you come back and use it against me later. He's going to get me to say it. He's going to say, what do you say Jalen could do?
No. I'm not saying he's better than her. I'm not saying that.
I know what you're doing, Stills. You're walking me around the circus. You're getting me right where you want to get me. And then you're going to use it against me for the next 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, however long Jalen's here.
Hey, well, do you think that guy can win a playoff game for you?
Tanner?
Yes.
Yeah, they ain't call Tanner McBrady for nothing.
Okay. That's all I'm asking. That's all I want to know is if you think that guy can win a playoff game.
Look at them red. Y'all need to remember McKee doesn't have the wheels.
That's right. Best running quarterback in pro football, maybe in Cleveland.
I hope he plays the next preseason. You know why? Because Darius Cooper is going to struggle getting passes from fucking those two stiffs that played after McKee last night.
Man, what a drop off that fucking thing was. I mean, holy shit. I mean, okay, so
yeah, I mean, Spa City's right though. This is what I was trying to say. I mean, he played the Giants and the Bengals. He hasn't been. He's not battle tested. He looks good. He's got good traits, but he doesn't. He's not battle tested.
Well, he was going against the ones last night for Cincy.
Yeah, Cincy. Team won 9 games last year with a Hall of Fame with an MVP quarterback because their defense was so bad.
So he outperformed what people thought he would against that defense, against a defense that's going to start the season for Cincinnati. Well, don't you think he's going to see a lot of those Cincinnati defenses this year? Because I do. I don't think there's a lot of great football teams with a lot of great defenses. I think Cincinnati's more of the common than it is. Don't you? You think Dallas's defense is better than Cincinnati's?
I don't think so. Dallas doesn't look good, man. That's probably my worst take of the year. Will be my worst take of the year. That Dallas was gonna win more games this year. They look brutal.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. But you're right. Dallas is either going to have a shit year or Dallas is either going to have a surprising year, in my opinion. All right. So
I don't think Dallas is going to have a good year.
Yeah, I said 5 or 6 wins. I don't see it. Okay, so do you think
that's a good pass rush in New York, and they're even better this year now with Abdul Carter.
Yep, absolutely. You think Howie makes a move?
I think he might have something in the pipeline. I mean, I don't know. The one exciting part about the next preseason game is that we haven't seen Ja'Cory and Bennett yet, and we've already seen the other two guys. We've already seen Kelee Ringo and Adoree Jackson look like turnstile stiffs who we do not want playing on our football team or starting on our football team. So you have like the small glimmer of hope that, hey, Ja'Cory and Bennett just got here. Can this kid play? I don't know, but I'm at least going to wait and see and find out. So I think maybe he makes a move. The edge rushers are probably something. I mean, you really think Vic Fangio didn't want Jalen Hurts to play last night? Guy played like fucking how many snaps last year?
Yeah, I agree. I think he did. And you know what? I think they're going to wait for guys getting cut. That week before the regular season, they're going to look probably at that list of guys.
I'm gonna be a pissed off Eagles fan if they cut Darius Cooper to keep Anais Smith. I'm going to be fucking pissed.
That will be because Howie wants to keep his job.
Dude, how many times have you floated the idea when we pay Jalen Carter, what's going to happen in the offense? You got a guy that you have undrafted right now that you could keep on this football team that looks like he can be a viable option on the outside and develop into something good. He showed you it first, showed you it now. John's been talking about him all through camp, but we've never seen him, so nobody knew what to make of it.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was.
You got to fucking keep that guy, dude. You can't get rid of that player. What, for Anais Smith? Come on, man. That kid's clearly an NFL wideout. Clearly.
Okay. How much money do you think he's making this year, too?
Who? Cooper?
Yeah.
Probably like $800,000.
840.
Yeah.
840.
Hey,
I'm in.
Pay that kid.
Hey,
and when you sign it on, how many years did he sign? Can you tell?
I think it's 3.
Undrafted, got a 3-year deal.
Yeah, he got he's 3 years here. 845. Wait a minute. 840, 1 million, and then his third year, 27, is 1.1 million. Signing bonus.
Spa says it'd be stupid to keep Cooper over Smith. Why, Spa? What have you seen from freaking from Anais Smith, dude?
Nothing.
I mean, he looked okay last night. I'm not trying to,
Xander
roast the kid, but really,
Xander, they gave this
I think
guy.
They're going to keep them both. Spa is what I think.
Xander, they gave this guy a $5,000 signing bonus.
Oh my God, dude, he's probably.
Dude, here. Every year they're going to have to give him $5,000. That's all that'll count on your cap. And get this, here's your cap hits with the kid. So no, you're right. The reason it's a smart way of looking at it. Your cap hits $1 million, $845,000 this year.
Wait, let me ask you this, because John wouldn't take the bait. I knew he wouldn't. Obviously, when does John ever take the fucking bait, for crying out loud? So the Eagles traded this week. They got rid of Thomas Booker. And we were talking about, it's not that big of a drop-off, right, from Booker to whoever the guy's after. It's probably why they made the move. I know Booker was a solid player, but you feel good about the guy coming in enough that they're not on the field enough that, all right, you make the move.
Yeah.
Do you really feel like if we traded Jahan Dotson and they put Darius Cooper at wide receiver 3, it'd be this big, drastic drop-off?
No, I don't.
I don't at all.
Actually, I think you could probably get more versatility out of the guy that looks like
too.
Samuel.
I'm not gonna. I know everybody will get all upset if you say that, but I feel like he'll be better.
And by the way, let's be candid here. They don't really get. They had 35 throws or 35 receptions last year in that 3-hole. Maybe you could utilize it a little bit more in the slot there with this kid, because doesn't he look like more of a slot player than Dotson? Dude, Jacorian fucking Bennett is now a superstar on your fucking football team, and he ain't even played yet.
Guy was drafted one spot ahead of Ringo. Johnny Mack floated something out when that trade happened, and he said, I wonder what, because the Eagles traded up, remember, to get Ringo. They sent like a future 3, I think, actually.
That's right.
Yeah. Were they trying to get Jacorian?
Bro, you think they made a mistake letting Slay go? Or is it still too early?
He's gonna be hard to replace, but it doesn't mean I think they made a mistake. He was old. CJ, I wish they brought back. I like it because,
or is it too early?
Again, maybe there's more there than I know, but like even me seeing the headache that Gardner Johnson is, like, I don't really care. Like, I want a good football player. They won the Super Bowl with him on their defense last year. It wasn't that fucking bad.
No.
Right? I mean, like, everyone's like, oh, you don't keep a guy. All right, well, explain last year. I don't know. And now you got Makuba and Sidney Brown, like the battle of two turds trying to win the job. It's like, I don't know. Did we make our defense that much worse? And it kind of brought me to a wonder that I have internally that you brought up a little bit ago. And I kind of tried to push back on you in a way on it, but I wonder if it's true. Is Howie focused a little more on 26 than he is on 25?
But with trying to be competitive to win it this year.
Right. Like, again, I don't know. I'm not worried about Makuba next year. It might be a good player.
No, but remember that topic we threw out about 4 months ago, and I said, do you believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are more concerned about 26 and 27? Well, it becomes more obvious when you see guys on the field when they're not living up to the expectations of what you saw. Now, again, let's put shit in context here. Is Jalen Carter and Bond and Reed and Q and Nolan and Jomo, are they going to improve that unit? Absolutely. There's no doubt they're going to improve it. But when you see glaring holes at safety and corner, those guys, I mean, how is Reed really going to play next to a guy who they can't figure out if they have the guy? And then doesn't that affect the corner? Doesn't that affect what you're going to try to do also with, I mean, let's be candid here, Xander. Now I know why fucking Vic is traveling Quinyon Mitchell. It's not because they were trying to give him more responsibility. They're giving him more responsibility out of necessity. That was evident last night, was it not?
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely was.
That question was answered last night, correct?
You sure you don't want Coop on the outside?
Wait. No, I'm not.
You might have to put Coop at either safety or out. So you might have to use Coop at one of them.
Would you feel better with Sidney Brown there at safety and Cooper at corner?
Can Makuba play the slot?
Bro, I'm trying to get Makuba on the field so he doesn't get hurt in helmets and shorts. I'm just trying to get the guy in the fucking field so I see what we got here. You know what I'm saying? What'd you make of your boy Ty Robinson?
Ty, I thought, had a good night. I want to know how many people, though, in this chat right now. All right, because your show tends to draw a different crowd than the conventional Eagle fan.
Really? We gave that away.
Big Sills draws in a certain type, all right? And I happen to love each and every one of you, all right? So I get it, believe me. It's my type of show, too. But I am wondering how many in this chatter that watch your show, think that Tanner McKee would lead this team to a Super Bowl. I know it's not everybody, but I think there's some in here.
Oh, I think he could keep you. How about this? I would not be certain that he could win it. More so with Jalen. Of course,
you're never certain with anybody. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah, but I feel more confident with a guy who's been there twice and won one. I mean, I'm going to go there with that. But I would say this to you. And if they were playing the Chiefs, 7 months ago, I think that game would have been very close.
Maybe. Well, that's one game, so I agreed in that game. How's this fair in the whole season? This is what I think is
I don't
true.
think he could do that the whole season.
Right. Pull off a Nick Foles is
Do
maybe.
you think that he – wait a minute.
Perez, this dude says some zesty, goofy shit. I do, so what, Xander? Bite me. I ain't touching you, fucking
how
Perez.
about this?
You gnarly-ass motherfucker. I could smell you through the screen.
If Hurts got hurt in game 1, do you think he could take that team to the playoffs?
Yeah, I do. I think he can win 11 games.
I still think they would have a shot to win the East.
Wait a second. So you talk about Jaden Daniels like this guy's untouchable, and then you put Tanner McKee on the Eagles, and you're ready to.
You bet. I think that guy could throw the pill, dude. I think that guy's the real deal.
Let me see what the chat's saying right now.
I think that guy's the real deal.
Look at Lamar. You guys are sniffing, smelling salts. Lamar, I'm still reeling.
I know you love your boy. It's all good. Hey, by the way, don't dismiss.
Pumper says he's ready to trade Jalen.
No. Pump.
Underdog says Jalen Hurts week 1, 11 of 23 for 97 yards and one bullshit ass 1 yard rush.
Oh, wait a minute. I got a great question for you.
Underdog, I missed you, man. Where you been? Underdog comes in and he throws some fucking gasoline in the chat every time he gets here, man.
Hey, chat, just a question here. So if like the passing game struggles and they get out to another 2-2, 2-4 start or something like that. I don't know. Just, shits and bubbles here. You think the Eagle fans will start screaming for fucking Tanner Manning?
Nah.
No, not you guys.
Nah,
not the kings of overreacting. Not
Look
the
at numb nuts. Yeah,
hey,
I don't.
You wanted Nick Sirianni. You wanted Nick Sirianni fired after fucking game 4 last year.
Well, it depends what it looks like. How long you think?
That is so Eagle-like right there. Depends on what it looks like.
I mean, that's everything in life.
I get it. Hey.
Look at Iceberg says I was on the Ringo bandwagon. No, I was the only guy I questioned all offseason, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe open your ears and listen or save your bullshit comments. Come on, man. All right, we got some supers to get to. We got Mike North
because Mike North's coming up here, guys. By the way, he loves the Eagles. And he loves Jalen Hurts, man. He said
Big Marsh said, look at this. He says, I'm just now tuning in. This was 4:07. I'm just now tuning in. I don't know where the convo is, but unlike you, Sills, I can admit my wrong, and you were absolutely right. Dickhead Ringo is a stiff. I finally said it. How you doing?
Big Marshall! Oh, my God, who fucking questions every gosh dang thing? Can't use the Lord's name in vain. That's one of the very few things I will not do. But I will say this to you. Big Marshall, I owe you one. Big Marshall, I promise you. The next one will be Sidney Brown's Steph, too. Hey, by the way, you know why? He can't tackle.
Go ahead. Josh B says, got to stir the pot. Does McManning have a higher ceiling throwing than Jalen?
Oh, yes, Josh, he does. Because the pass.
Josh, you had to do it, Josh, didn't you?
Josh, he does have a higher ceiling than Hurts. Shit, you guys just said it. I want to see him do more. I want to see him in more games. Absolutely. I've seen Jalen for 100 games. I know what's up.
Scanner McKee.
Scanner McKee. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. R. Anthony says, Big Z, Sills is setting you up. You think, R. Anthony?
Wait.
I can't be myself in this show today. I got to tiptoe around. I got to tiptoe around the yard a little bit.
Hold on for a second here. I'm going to throw this at you here. Do you see Sirianni not want to make sure that he started some shit? The guys in the booth go like this. So what'd you think of Tanner McKee's game last night? He goes like this. Yeah, play well. He didn't want to start any crap when it came to Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts.
About Jalen Hurts, and Sirianni goes on a diatribe about it.
Yeah.
Chris got $5. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, brother. Kyle says, would you trade McKee in a third for Ward or Newsome? Nah,
I'm
dude.
not trading a guy.
A quarterback that runs the ball a lot. You got to keep a good backup. I think
I'm not doing that.
Jason says, someone you probably got this one. So someone like in Ringo's position where he isn't fully fighting for his life because he still has another year, is it laziness because games don't count? No, Jason.
No, it's not laziness. It's skill set. He doesn't have it. He can't turn his fucking hips. It's very simple.
I'll tell you what, Ringo's still tasting that dirt from off Jamar Chase's cleats.
Hey, you think?
Yeah.
That guy went like this. He shook him.
He got a piece of that dirt lodged in his throat, man.
Hey, did you see what he did? He shook the change loose from him. It fell out of his pocket, and then he wheel routed him and ran in the end zone.
Yep.
How you doing?
That dude's a good fucking football player, Jamar Chase, man. Dude can play, man.
He's a special football player, man.
Yeah, he is. All right, Phil, it's great stuff, brother.
You guys are absolutely killing it. Big Z, you keep it up, man. And by the way, Kelee Bingo is in a lot of trouble, man. And that Sidney Brown guy's in a lot of trouble.
What do you think Eagles are what do you think McKee's worth right now in the open market?
Third rounder.
Oh, that's low. Third, I'm not taking that. Get lost.
Okay. You're starting to talk Jalen Hurts was a second rounder.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So was Andrew McCooma.
Big Z, way to go, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, see you, Sills. Love you, brother. Appreciate everybody.
Guys, we're absolutely spectacular in here. You know what, man? You guys had such a great time with Mike North. And I reached out to him last week. And I got everybody coming up here, and they're going like this to me. They said, hey, man, let's get that Mike North on. Again, I go, I've already reached out to him. And Mike was so kind to jump aboard with us. This guy, one of the busiest guys there is. He's got a full schedule, and we appreciate him joining us. Don't forget Mike Golic. He's going to join us also at 5:30. And let's get his thoughts here on, is there anybody out there that can beat this Philadelphia Eagle team? The legendary Mike North. He joins us now right here on the program. Mike, how you doing, brother?
What's going on?
How about this, Mike? You're back by popular demand. People love you being on the program.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The rewarding thing is the regular guys. That's it.
Right.
The folks that want you. You know, that's what counts. It doesn't matter about corporate bosses or anything else. You connect with the people, and you know what? Then you get invited back. I was excited every time the phone rang. I go, "Is that Dan? Is that Dan?" and my wife would say no, and I go, "Oh, okay." And then finally it came. I go, "That was close." You know, but it's good to talk to you, my friend. Everything's going well.
Thank you so much. Mike, do you believe anybody is in line? Do you think anybody in the NFC can beat this Eagle team? Do you think there's a couple other teams? They've lost a lot of players. Some of that stuff was on display last night, depending on what you look at with exhibition football. I mean, obviously, the starters are not out there for Philly, but do you believe that anyone's in the room with Philly this year?
No, not at the end. Not at the end. The only team in the room with them, I believe, and I think I heard it was tough to repeat in the Super Bowl, and yet I see the Kansas City Chiefs been there 3 times, so why can't Philadelphia be there? That's been my stance from the beginning. I know that Detroit, you can't lose 2 coordinators, and you can't have a type of locker room where you're getting used to a new guy and expect to knock him off, I think, the first year. That's not saying that Detroit can't do it. Right now, though, there's a reason Philadelphia is favored by Vegas. And, you know, they don't really want Philadelphia to be favored like they are because you don't make a lot of money if you bet them and they end up winning. I mean, most people like me want to play somebody that would be like 650, 7-1, 8-1. So, I'm going to probably sit it out because I just don't see. I think this Hurts kid is special. I know last time I was on, a lot of people were moaning and groaning. Hey, it's a big boy position. We know that. You know, in Chicago, leave Caleb Williams alone. Shut up. Shut up. The guy, I mean, Dak Prescott, all these guys, they make all this money, you know, I mean, so you gotta expect it. It's a big boy game and they get their share of praise when things go right.
Absolutely. Speaking of Jalen Hurts, I mean, 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Guy now is in position to really start to put a stamp on his resume right now. Do you believe he's the second best quarterback in pro football next to Mahomes? Or is it, or Mike, does it go down like this? He's the second most accomplished.
I think he's one of the field generals of the NFL, not a
Explain.
quarterback. Okay, a field general guides you. He only had 18 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Okay, but those stats didn't stand up against a lot of great quarterbacks that have stats but not wins. Okay, a field general's a guy that does whatever he has to win. Okay, he guides you down the field. You know he's intelligent. He's a gym rat. You know, I don't know if you know the right thing is happening in Chicago because Caleb Williams is not playing tomorrow night in the first preseason game. When I was a kid, I wanted to play in the NFL. I played all the sports. I played basketball in college. I played all the top sports, baseball. I couldn't wait to get to practice. I couldn't wait to play the game. And there's no pushback. You know, Joe Burrow played last night and went 9-10.
He was insane great.
The best, great. And they said it's against second stringers. I go, it doesn't matter. He's the best quarterback in football, and he wants to throw for over 5,000 yards this year. He has no offensive line. If anybody could sit and get away with it, it's Joe Burrow. Absolutely. Okay? And yet he wants to play, and all these other guys are sitting around. Not all. Geno Smith, I think, played a little bit last night, but that's just bugging me and bugging the city of Chicago.
How about this? How about this, Mike? And to your point about Caleb,
right?
I mean, if you're looking at trying to create communication, don't you want to get your play calling head coach and your young quarterback in the same conversation? I mean, there's a reason you practice that stuff, right? You want to get them in a game situation, and I don't understand why they don't want to do
I do understand a little bit because I've seen him throw his check down passes, not very accurate. I don't think he's comfortable yet with the plays that Ben Johnson puts in. I heard the Detroit Lion players saying, thank God now, you know, I won't be worried about what I got to do while I'm running the pattern. John Morton has simplified things, and I heard the Lion players, you know, I keep hearing rumors they're sorry to see Ben Johnson go. They're the same players. They're going to have a simple playbook. They're going to take the best plays that suit each guy, and they're going to try to make it more compact. That doesn't mean it's going to work out, but I think that's a good thing, and it shows John Morton has got his own personality here, where you have the situation with Ben Johnson. Like I said the last time I was here, and I've said on numerous shows on the web and on ESPN 1000, you don't have a quarterback that's a gym rat. You don't have a quarterback that wants to spend all the time watching film. He said he didn't even know how to watch film last year. I wonder what Lincoln Riley was teaching these guys at USC, the celebrated guy. Like, you know, every guy coming out of Oklahoma from Bud Wilkinson on has been a bust, basically, when it comes to the National Football League, because they just play. They don't prepare their players to go to the next level.
Mike, to your point, Troy Aikman had to trade. We broke his leg when Miami played. We broke his leg. He transferred to UCLA.
Absolutely.
He became the #1 overall selection. So he wasn't really going to be – he was going to be a 5th-round pick if he had stayed at OU.
Going to be an option quarterback running out of the wishbone or something, you know. But I just don't understand players that won't say, I want to get a series or two in. I got to be sure of myself. I'm going to have a rough outing, but the protection of these quarterbacks is nauseating. It's a collision sport. It's a physical sport. I read in the Chicago Sun-Times the other day, Ben Johnson and Bears get physical. Thank you. It's a physical sport. It's a collision sport. It's good you're getting physical. They used to do 2-a-days. Everybody.
3-a-days.
They did 2-a-days, sometimes 3-a-days if you didn't get it right. And I got to feel a pity party for quarterbacks that are playing today. And by the way, Jim Lovell died today, a resident of Illinois, the great astronaut, and was in Apollo 13.
Yeah.
And I met Mr. Lovell, and he was supposed to land on the moon, supposed to be the 5th guy to land it on the moon. And I just said to myself, God, it's too bad he died, you know, and it's this and that. I met him at his restaurant called Lovell's in Lake Forest. When I went there to eat, he had it for about 15 years out there. And just a terrific guy.
I grew up an astronaut fan, so I know every one of those guys. You know what? I had a chance years ago to meet Armstrong. Buzz Aldrin, too. I met that, and you're right. Norville, he's one of the truly great astronauts of all time.
He had his memorabilia at the restaurant, his spacesuit and
No
everything.
way.
Yes.
All Bears and Cub stuff?
No. He was a spaceman. This guy had his NASA suit. He had everything else there. It was outstanding. And, you know, I meet great men like that, and then they're having a pity party for what's his name from the Dallas Cowboys, because
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is making $24 million a year. And you know why you don't hear a lot of negative talk about Micah Parsons? Because all these shows have ex-jocks, and they will not tell a guy like Micah, because they'll hear from him that, hey, man, you got a deal. Have you heard one ex-player say, get out there, you're making $24 million?
Mike, I'm going to tell you that I've gone back and forth with him, and he blocked me, and I said this about him. That is not a generational football player.
No.
Because he does not stop the run.
No.
I do not believe. And get this, Mike, the 3 years that he's been there, I brought this up to him. Your defense has been ranked 19th. The impact you have had on that defense has not been anywhere. Like, when I see that guy, Mike, I don't even see Pat Swilling.
No.
I mean,
Pat Swilling was a stud.
He was an NFL Player of the Year. I mean, I look at Micah Parsons.
I just want one of these guys, these former players. See, because nobody speaks for the management. You got a $24 million deal, okay? And the bottom line is you're 0-3 in the playoffs. Prescott takes all sorts of heat. Well, how about you? You want this money? And we're going to have a pity party for you. You're making $24 million. Go play your football game. And you know what? If you're so damn good, you'll get the big dough next year. But you know what? Jerry Jones, I like the way he's handling it, because he's just dumb enough, this guy, to sit out. You know, he is, for a couple weeks and lose what he's fighting for to begin with.
What do you think is the storyline this year in the NFL?
I was liking the Rams until Stafford got hurt. Okay, his back is bothering him, and that's a problem. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're talking about, if you have a bad back, you pick up a box. You know, you're hobbling around the living room. You know, I'm trying to get the Western Channel from the remote. You know, turn on Maverick, and you know I can't even do that. So that's a big problem. I think the storyline is going to be that the San Francisco 49ers are going to make a serious run.
I agree.
They've been quiet, been a quiet locker room. The focus hasn't been on them. I still believe in their coach. I mean, just because you don't get all the way to the playoffs, you know, through the playoffs, I always got a kick out. I get a kick out of NFL teams. I mean, when Jordan was playing for the Bulls, if you had that attitude that you can't beat Michael Jordan, we're going to fire you, then Pat Riley wouldn't have kept his job. All these great, you got to understand, if you get into the playoffs and go a long way, that's not a bad thing. So I like San Francisco, but McCaffrey's got to stay healthy. I mean, that's the guy, best all-purpose football player when he's healthy. Probably should have won a Heisman Trophy. That was just highway robbery. Leonard Fournette, I liked him, but he was a joke. I knew it. He had some pretty good NFL years, but he should have won a Heisman Trophy. So I think he's the common denominator. He's the one guy outside of any quarterback in football that's, I think, so important to an offense, to the offense of his team. He's a check down guy. He's a deep guy. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He's not afraid of colliding with somebody. And, you know, there's a lot of running backs that are afraid when they run in the National Football League. He's not one of them.
Let me throw this at you here.
I love when you throw things at me, Danny. You know that.
I love it, man. Here we go. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. What type of season do you think Aaron Rodgers has this year?
He's not playing the preseason, or he sat out the preseason.
They said they're not playing him.
They're not playing him. They're preserving him. Justin Field, who's replacing him in New York. I worked with Mike Greenberg. I don't know if I brought up last time. They announced the day he was working on that Get Up show that he does.
On ESPN, right?
On ESPN. They said Justin Field was carried off the field, but they didn't know that he had just hurt his toe at that point.
Right.
Well, Greenberg, oh my God. He almost fainted.
Mike, he's a Jets honk now. You know that,
he's
right?
been a Jets fan his whole life, and he's miserable. Okay.
Yeah.
I was 16 when Joe Namath won. I was working at a deli and I had to sneak to the bar next door to watch the Super Bowl. Okay. So here's Greeny's almost fainting. And I'm saying, boy, is the press and the NFL and everybody buffaloed everybody about Justin Fields. The over-under's 5. They're not going anywhere. Joe Namath's not walking through that door. Chad Pennington's not walking through the door. Jesus effing Christ. Kenny O'Brien's not walking through that door. Nobody's walking through that door except Justin Fields, and you're having hope. You're destroyed almost because the guy got hurt. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a decent year. I think he's off the bomb squad. He's going to keep things short. The offensive line is suspect. As you know, you got to have a good offensive line. He just can't force things. Just be yourself. And he had a bad break. Kirk Cousins never came back from his injury. So that's the key. Can Aaron Rodgers come back from that injury? Kirk Cousins, I'm hoping, can come back because you got a winnable division and you're going to play Michael Penix. When you have Kirk Cousins, if he's healthy, on your bench. We'll see how that transpires. But right now, I think Aaron Rodgers has a good chance to surprise some people in that division.
Mike, I have to hand it to you, and I have to tell you, you made me say this the other day on my show.
Did?
I do a Tampa morning show, and I do this fabulous show in Philly, based in Philly. Goes all over, as you know. Here.
Sure.
But here. So I heard that the National Football League has sent to Bristol customized knee pads with the commissioner's face on it. And because now the NFL owns 10% of ESPN. I mean, how beautiful is this? Anytime there's a narrative now, you've got 10% where the host and all the analysts now have to wear those NFL knee pads because the NFL is not, Mike. They are not going to allow anybody to talk trash on them. They love setting the narrative. What do you make of ESPN now owning 10% of Disney's prized ESPN?
They've already been in bed with them. Nothing's changed.
Now ESPN, it's just in the open. Now it's
ESPN is as big a brand, or was as big a brand, as Coca-Cola or
Absolutely.
U.S. Steel. Bottom line is, I'm just anxious. I mean, am I going to see Jimmy? Am I going to see some of the WNBA girls getting some football? Rebecca Lobo have an NFL show from 3 to 4. But no, I think that they are immense. They've ignored most of the other 3 sports. Baseball,
they just let baseball walk with that television.
Absolutely. They're all in with the NFL Network, which I think the NFL Network is damaged. You're going because the NFL Network always seemed, okay, it's our product. We're going to market it like we want. But I watched some of their shows and they were very critical about things, but in a classy way. Okay. Unlike us we'll come right at you. You
Absolutely.
stink or whatever.
Right.
You know what? Maybe I hear it all the time. These wishy-washy guys. I'm hearing in baseball too. I see a guy make an error. Well, he had to rush the throw. That's why it happened. No, he didn't have to rush the throw, and he made an error. Just say it. You know what I mean? So I don't think that you'll see anything different. I think what bothers me about the NFL is all the networks that are using us. I mean, I pay for DirecTV. And why should I have to go to Apple? Why should I have to go to any of these other things?
$700, Mike. They're saying now if you want to get NFL streaming, that you're going to have to
unbelievable
pay $700 this year.
Listen, they had a Friday night baseball. They have Friday night baseball on Apple. Okay, they're so greedy. On July 4th, they did the Cub game, which was at 1:20, and they put it on Apple TV. They're a disgrace. The greed is a disgrace in the NFL. We all grew up watching the NFL for free. And now you're asking people to buy packages where supposedly, like the MLB network, is supposed to be all the games. And all of a sudden you're seeing, why can't I get the Cub game on? I got to go to Apple. I bought DirecTV. And I'm waiting for a class action lawsuit to hit the NFL because they're playing all sorts of games. The greed is appalling.
Mike, is Chicago going to lose the Bears to the outskirts of the suburbs?
Yes.
Are they gonna leave? Don't tell me you're gonna leave Soldier Field.
Well, they are going to leave Soldier Field, and you know what? I think they are because most of the Bear season ticket holders live in the northwest side of Chicago.
We're going to build that track on the dog track. They're going
to. What happened today? It's not a dog track, Dan. Let's raise it a little bit. It was a horse track. Okay. You had me chasing a greyhound. I'm going to tell you right now. It's today. They had a press conference. And Kevin Warren says they're focused after 2.5 years. Now we're focused on moving to Arlington Heights because he didn't know Chicago. And Chicago knows that Soldier Field is the toughest place to get to. We're not NFL players that can get there on a bus, and they have a police escort. It takes you from the suburbs an hour and a half to get there with traffic. Okay. It's the smallest stadium. It will never be able to host a Super Bowl. They refurbished it once. It looks like the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. Okay. It looks like they visited Fred's mansion and landed it around rock. Yeah. So it's a beautiful location, but there's more land at the Arlington track location than they have at SoFi in LA. So It's going to be a good thing. Oh yeah. It's bigger than SoFi.
Man,
because Hollywood Park track was there, and Arlington is bigger than Hollywood Park.
Man, losing that, because
I said, quit it. You guys still playing at the Orange Bowl for Christ's sake, aren't you? I'm still waiting for Joe Robbie to take the elevator down.
Hey, dude, I tell you this, absolutely. What about your Cubs? What about your Cubs, man? You think where are they right now in the world?
Well, they're like the Yankees were, but the Yankees had a reason for losing until recently because Aaron Judge was hurt. You lose Aaron Judge. Oh, what's wrong? Boone sucks. Take Michael Jordan off the Bulls. That's who Aaron Jordan is. One of the greatest baseball players I've ever seen, and I saw him all since 1961. Okay, so I forgot the question. Where
are the Cubs? They
play? The Cubs. Craig Counsell the other night pulls Cade Horton after 5 2/3 innings and 67 pitches. And the whole town's incensed. What are you doing? Because Mike Marshall, who used to be a frequent guest on my show, not the kid from Buffalo Grove that was the hitter from the Dodgers, not that kid. Mike Marshall, the great relief pitcher, who said to me numerous times, Mike, they're training the pitchers wrong. They're ruining the arms of these pitchers. They're ruining them not to last. There's too many trainers trying to legitimize themselves, not teaching them the art of hitting. Well, this is in 90s, 93's telling me this, but he had that for years talking about it. He was blackballed, okay? And he was just beaten up verbally, scorned because of those takes by Major League Baseball. And guess what happened? It's happened. We have pitchers that can't pitch 70 pitches in Major League Baseball. I was on my show today, and I said to myself, that's a grown-ass man, and we're such a soft country now that he can't go 70 pitches. Yet the Little League World Series, 9 and 10-year-olds have a pitch count of 75 pitches. So you had this grown-ass man who couldn't throw more than a little leaguer the other night. And they keep protecting these guys from what? I'll give you a perfect example. Craig Counsell, okay? He has a pitch count. And you know what we've gotten for it for 2 years? Justin Steele, disabled list. Tayon, disabled list. Shota Imanaga this year earlier. All of the starters, disabled list. And they keep doing this. And you know what else has happened? Now they have the third worst bullpen in the second half. 5.88. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I asked myself the question, folks. I'll tell you why. Because he brings them in early. He's overusing his bullpen. He had a great bullpen in Milwaukee with Hader and those guys. He looks over here, and they just come in and lose the games. And that's what's happened. He's a cookie cutter manager. He goes lefty against lefty. He won't let relievers go more than an inning. He doesn't use his starters. I'll give you one stat that staggered me, and I couldn't believe it. I looked at Shota Imanaga, a good pitcher for the Cubs, and I looked at his complete games since he's been with the Cubs, 2 years. 0. 0. In Japan, 13.
Wow.
So he can pitch a complete game in Japan, but he can't come from Japan and pitch a complete game because Craig Counsell wants to protect somebody for 3 years down the line.
Wow.
We're trying to win a pennant, and you're pulling guys with 5 2/3. He pulled Boyd with the shutout. It just boggles everybody's mind. And the New York Met manager makes $1.7 million. Aaron Boone makes $4.5 million. That's 6.2. They're in the toughest market you could be in. And the Yankees won the World Series. I mean, got in the World Series, and all they do is get crushed. And they were in the World Series last year. Craig Counsell makes more money than the 2 New York managers combined. That's a sin.
That is totally. 2 last ones here for you, Mike.
I'm exhausted. I'm getting winded.
I got.
I know. I feel good. I'm here for the next hour if you want me. Let's go.
Listen here.
I'll wash your Golic in. I don't care.
Hey, do you like preseason football, yay or nay?
They're a bunch of hypocrites, and you know it as well as I do. They used to have 6 exhibition games.
They did.
Right?
They did.
And we used to watch it, and we used to go, geez, there's too many. Then they get to 4. Then they'll wait, you know what the next move is? They want to play 18 games.
That's right.
So now they're going to bring in 2, and they've told probably some teams, wear the mushroom helmets, don't get anybody hurt in the preseason. So when we come out with the safety statistics, we can add 2 more, another game to make it 18. They're all hypocrites. It's not about safety. You played in the league. You know it as well as anybody. You're meat. You're the guy. If there was a human form of the meat that Rocky hit, when he went into the butcher place, it would be ex-NFL players just hanging on hooks. You guys are the guys that were in Goodfellas, that one guy hanging in the truck. They could care less. It's all greed.
Oh, my God. I freaking love it here. Hey,
don't let me leave. I have no friends right now.
Listen, we love you here, man. I know I do. Mike, I mean.
Well, that's all that counts. You're the boss you're the boss that stirs the applesauce, handsome. Come on now.
That's what.
By the way, you do look like me, and you do look like a couple 1960s detectives.
Oh, absolutely.
If we walked into a place, they're all looking.
Mike,
they're all looking.
If me and you did a show together,
I
mean, you know what? It would probably only last a week.
They don't want to make any money. Nobody wants to make any money.
Mike, it would last a week, okay? Because you know what you and I do, we get it. You know what I mean by we get it. So
I did my shows for the crowd, for the people.
That's right.
Why I'm still around, and I'm not going to stop. But you know what? What careers we've had, and that's the main thing. And you know what? I'm still here. I'm still being. I mean, I get so much people that want to have me on it. I'm honored by it. When a guy like you, or a guy like Munch Bishop in Cleveland, or JT the Brick in Las Vegas, or the other guys around the Fox Sports Radio guys, Andy Furman, I'm always happy when I'm asked. I did this for nothing when I was 10.
Do you know that I was the second person hired in the history of Fox Sports Radio behind Tony Bruno? And I know you know who Tony Bruno is.
Oh, I love Tony.
Yeah, and so Tony was hired, and then I was hired, and we started that network. And you know what's funny? I tell people this. Guys like you, Mike, and me, and guys like Angelo Cataldi.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that Pat McAfee and the stuff that Dave Portnoy are doing now. Mike, we were doing this 20 years ago, but just different a little bit.
It was different. The one thing that's different now is that you do have social media, but these guys now, they're like, we were the cops.
Yeah.
That if a guy was coming at us, or if he was running from us, we would take the gun out and shoot him. Okay? Now they're like this, and the guy turns around and kills him. You know what I'm saying? That the cops, that's what's happened. You have radio talk show hosts, okay, who are afraid. They got to think before they say something. I'm sure we all have filters. It's built in with me, folks. Believe me. After 34 years, I know what I can say, and I know how to get around it. And I know how to say it in a roundabout way now, which you didn't used to have to do before.
That's right.
But now they're the cops that are hesitating before they pull their gun because they don't want to be suspended or fill out paperwork. Okay. Or they're their cops. Those are the cops that were like maybe in Cincinnati the other night.
Did the Cubs and the Bears ever call your bosses on you?
Oh, my God. They all did. They all have. But that's part of the deal. It's an ownership town where families own it.
Yeah, but you know what though, Mike? They called this show.
Mm-hmm.
My show I'm doing right now, the Eagles called my bosses on this because I was being too critical. Or I say this, Mike, I go like this. It's not being critical. It's just being truthful.
You got to be real. You can't be, I think that bothers some of the talk show hosts that I know, that they can't go to the extent that I was able to go to. And I'm still doing it, and I'm very grateful to ESPN 1000. I am, because I'm the only guy left that's doing terrestrial radio in Chicago.
How long have you been on that network? How long have you been on that station?
Well, ESPN I've been on for 6 years. I do an hour a week. I do a gambling show. We taped this morning. We're going to be on tomorrow also at 1 o'clock. We're also on podcast, which means I'm on every day if you check it out. Podcasting changed the business. And you mentioned Portnoy. I like those guys. Barstool, I think they do a good job. I think there are a couple podcasts that have hurt the radio business, and that should never be the case. That should never be the case, because even to get to Barstool, you got to type something up. Not everybody knows how to get to them. Everybody knows how to turn on the radio. But right now, it's in a little bit of a rut, sports radio. There's no question about it.
It's talent, isn't it, Mike?
It's also that back when I broke in, none of the teams were on our station.
Oh, and by the way,
you cover things differently when there's no flagship station involved.
And because you know why? What the teams are selling, aren't they? They're selling accessibility, which means this: if you're going to have our product and have our rights on your radio station, there's going to come with parameters, right?
And I think it's fair, but when I was criticizing the teams, our ratings and the money we made were at an all-time high. Here's another thing, and the thing that really bothers me, whether it's the White Sox, the Cubs, the Bears, I was a vendor at the Chicago Cubs and Bear games. I worked there. I worked for the team. Hold on.
You saw my uncle play, Andy Robustelli.
Yeah. I saw him play in 63.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy Robustelli's one of the all-time greats. That whole line was great. No doubt. We got and then the Blackhawks. I loved them all as a kid growing up. And as much negative as I gave them all, and the ownership has trouble accepting it, the positive PR, when they had good years, and the players, Ryne Sandberg, the Cubs, when they were going well in 93, making the playoffs, they just hear the negative stuff. And I don't blame them in a way. If you have a restaurant sponsoring somebody like the Mike North and Dan show, and hey, this is sponsored by so-and-so restaurant. Yeah, they're great. But the food was cold the other night, wasn't it? You're not going to keep it for long.
Mike, finally here. Give me your thoughts on the passing of Ryne Sandberg.
Oh, my God. Rhino was a buddy.
Where do you put him in the Mount Rushmore of Chicago sports guys?
I put him as one of the four.
No way.
No, I'm talking about just Cubs. See, we have too many, like with the Blackhawks. You got Patrick Kane, Bobby Hull, Stan Mikita. But if I was good, I'd have him in the top 10 for Mount Rushmore. You can't have Ryne Sandberg on the front four because, first of all, I was a Butkus guy. I was a Peyton guy. I was a Sayers guy. I was a Jordan guy. Banks, Fergie. We have too many. Rhino, though, if there was a latter-day Mr. Cub, because Ernie Banks
more than Banks?
No. He'll never be more than Banks, but for the younger people, this is their first kids growing up that are now in their 40s. This is their first guy.
Do you think he's more of a modern day Ron Santo?
He was better than Ron Santo, I think.
No, I'm talking like in popularity and all that.
Santo didn't really. Santo was a tool in a way. Ronnie, look, if he beat you in 69 and you saw him run down the field clicking his heels, that's what really, I think, helped sink the Cubs in the second half. Opposing teams, when he was at home, if the Cubs won, he'd run to the clubhouse, which was in left field, and click his heels, jump up and click his heels in jubilation. And, you're playing some tough teams, and I'm convinced that was one of the motivating factors for teams wanting to come into Wrigley and not lose. Every day was like a World Series because they didn't want to see Ron Santo click his heels. But Ryne Sandberg was smoother than Ronnie. Ronnie had controversy. Ronnie was tougher, I think, as far as he was a third baseman. He rubbed the dirt. He never wore batting gloves. What a gimmick those are, by the way, the batting gloves.
Hey, I tell people that all the time, especially when you watch Henry Aaron. Henry Aaron didn't wear any gloves at all.
Wait. Hawk Harrelson was the guy that brought in
Holy cow, do I love Hawk Harrelson.
Well, Hawk's a friend, and he was one of the fine announcers for the White Sox.
He'd say anything, Mike. He'd say anything.
Hawk Harrelson was a pro golfer, and he got the idea to wear golf gloves during the baseball season, and he wore it. And but what a gimmick that is! There are guys that can't hit a ball 70 yards that wear gloves like they're like Arnold Palmer and them. And Arnie wore a glove, but when he putted, he took the gloves off. He took the glove off when he putted. That's an unknown fact. You'll see some pictures. I don't know about all. Maybe as he got older, he used the glove, where he'd drive with the glove, and then you'd see him take the glove off like a guy that ends up at first base. And by the way, as next commissioner of baseball, the oven mittens are gone. I'd have one this long.
The guy that slide. The guy that slide.
I mean, didn't we learn from OJ? I mean, my God. My God. The guy's got a hand this big, and the glove is this big. The guy's halfway to second, and the glove's touching. That would be outlawed.
OJ.
That would be outlawed. The oven mitten pisses me off.
I get it.
Now we're going too far.
Now, Mike, never too far. Listen, I got a roll here, man, and it's been a ton of fun. Please, let's do this again. Hey, look,
I had a good run today.
We have
anytime you want, call me. I'm sitting at home. I got to go to a wedding tonight. I'm dreading it. 500 people. I get there. I'll walk in the door and I'll go to my wife. Are we almost done?
No. Go to the bar. Go to the bar when you go in there.
You go in, you kiss the bride and groom, you do the Irish goodbye. You just sneak out.
You sneak out the back door. Mike, thank you. Speaking of that, time to roll. Thank you, brother.
All right, brother.
Hey, we'll do it really soon.
Anytime you want, give me a call. Text me. I'm lonely. I look at the birds. I look at the flowers. I never even noticed there were flowers before. Now I just have time to focus.
Hey, absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Mike.
All right, buddy.
You bet. The great Mike North, man. That was absolutely fantastic. I love him, man. You guys, we got to do that again. This guy is too much, man. All right. Mike Golic is going to join us. That'll be at the bottom of the hour. We got that set up for you, man. So we got your Friday. Your football Friday is set up. I'm going to have to pay some bills here. Xander's going to kick my ass here in a minute. However, we're going to reset here at the top of the hour. I didn't even get to them. Look at this. I've got all of this over here on the side. I wrote this down here. The Eagle offense, 5 of the first 6 drives against the top guys on the Bengal defense, the number 1 defense. The Eagles had scoring drives on 5 of their first 6, 2 explosive plays. Al Golden, somebody was telling me, Dave Lapham the other day, was telling me that this is a Super Bowl team. Not with what I saw last night. Not with what we saw. Okay? What else did we roll down here? Nick, he spoke. Let me pay some bills, and we're going to go over what Sirianni said after the game. We're going to reset. Mike Golic also will be at the bottom. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. We appreciate all of you guys and our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. The number one injury law firm in all of America is indeed Morgan & Morgan. Folks, with thousands of attorneys from across the country, coast to coast. The reason why they're number one is because they win. Simple as that. They win. And get this, they don't get paid unless you win. All you have to do is go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on three. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES, Eagles.
I've never wished for a guy to get canned more than Mike Missinelli. And he just got canned. Thank God. That guy fucking blows. That guy's not having a very good year. The Krausses are kicking his ass, and 97.5 blew his ass out. Fucking great. By the way, don't come knocking on our door again. We don't take retreads. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, I'm having a really good time here with that. Yeah. Okay. Back to regularly scheduled programming. That's good. Ho, 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 ha, ho. Holy cow, that guy sucked out loud. Farzetta's better. Farzetta's better. Holy shit. Let me write this down here because I'm going to lose my spot here. Right here. You want to hear Tourette's? Jalen's mediocre. Jalen's mediocre. Jalen's mediocre. Do you mean that, Tourette's? That's not true. I don't. Yeah. I don't. That's not true. Okay. Mike Golic is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Hit the like button here. Holy shit. My day just got better. Oh, by the way, I have to be in a good mood because my boy Xander, how you doing? Yeah. Woo! How you doing? Hey, and that Tanner McKee. Holy shit. Tanner McKee. The future of the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, how about this one? Do you believe that Tanner McKee's got a future in Philly? What if that guy goes and becomes Brett Favre somewhere, like Favre left Atlanta? What do you think of that? What do you make of that? If he goes to Atlanta or he goes somewhere and he pulls a Brett Favre and he turns out to be a Hall of Famer somewhere else. What do you think? I wish he would stay. All right? New Orleans. Okay? All right? No, right? Hey, Lamar, you know about smelling. I may use smelling salts. You smell panties. There's a difference. You know? I'm a man. You know? I don't know what you are, really. You're a complainer and a bitchy guy. Maybe that guy's always saying negative things. I don't know. You're a little bit, you know, I don't know. You're probably one of those guys that throw a dildo like LJ on a court in the WNBA game. I heard LJ got arrested for throwing the third dildo on the court in that WNBA game. Oh, how awful is that, LJ? LJ got caught throwing a dildo in Chicago at the Chicago game in the WNBA. Terrible. It's all right. Mike Golic will join us. That'll be at the bottom of the hour. How you doing? Is Tanner McKee better than Charlie Batch? No, the question is he better than Jalen Hurts? Is that guy got more up? Who's got more upside? Jalen Hurts or Tanner McKee? But hey, Sills, you were right. Right. My preseason, off-season is going to. You're going to think Nostradamus is a dumbass compared to me by the time I'm done with this year. Your edge rushers, BLOW. Adoree Jackson stinks. Listen to this. Sue says I'm losing it. Well, you're only about 2 decades late there, Sue. Nice job, sweetness. Yeah. Sills is Shohei. Shohei Ohtani, baby. How you doing? We told you they stunk. We told you. I'll tell you this. Here, let me go back again. Let me go to my list. Let me get my list out here. And let's reset here. By the way, Mike Golic's joining us. That will be at the bottom of the hour. Okay, here we go. How you doing? Okay? This is what we love about douchebags like this right here. See this? Sills is double A league with takes. So every day this guy comes here to hear double A takes. Lamar, thank you very much for your stupidity and your being an imbecile. Because if you think they're double A takes, you're here every day to hear them, and that makes you an imbecile. How you doing? Watch this. Thank you very much, Ethan. And I'll see you here Monday at 2 to 6. How you doing? That firing of Mike Missinelli, that gave me an extra bit of juice here, baby. I am juiced up. It's like rocket fuel. You just like to laugh. We just like to laugh. Oh, really? Great. Thanks for the algorithm. I appreciate it. Yeah, because almost all the shit I say is true. Sills. Big Sig, Sills. Big Sills. Boy, I'm having a great offseason. Let's see. Let me line my things up here. I said Munden will be a factor on your football team more than Trotter. I think Munden is going to be a better player than Trotter. Let's see here. Get this. You know why? Munden's actually going to see the field. And Munden, the better he plays, sorry, Nakobe. Bye-bye. Haven't listened to 97.5 since Bruno in the midday. Tony Bruno is a friend of mine, and I love Tony Bruno. By the way, if you go over to my Twitter page, in my head box, or whatever that is, my mast, I got in the mast there, I got a great picture of myself. I've got the Drudge Report, Craig Kitchen, Art Bell, Jim Rome, Michael Reagan, and Tony Bruno. All premier radio legends. How you doing? And Rush Limbaugh. And Dr. Laura. And Big Sills, Rush Limbaugh, Dr. Laura. Yeah, that sounds right. Maybe if Mike Missy wasn't boozing too much, bum. Hey, Abe. Hey, Joe, Xander. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, my God. You can't be more happier for somebody like that because he's a complete asshole. Guy goes on his radio show calling me a racist. Fuck you, guy. Kidding me? I can't be happier for a guy like that to get blown out. Seals Cooper DeJean outside, corner. Signed Simmons. No way. They're not doing that. They should have kept Slay. By the way, is Simmons, if you pay $7 to $8 million for Simmons, why didn't you keep Gardner Johnson? Okay? Too bad. All right. Big Sills takeaways. We're going to reset these. Oh, yeah. Mike Golic, bottom of the hour. Your boy Tanner McKee has a future somewhere. We said it, 10 to 12 football teams that guy could start in the NFL for right now. Okay? Jahad Campbell, I thought Jahad Campbell was okay. I didn't see spectacular. I saw okay. I thought that there was a lot of things he did well, and there were a lot of things he did poorly. His tackling's got to get better. I mean, you could see the athleticism. By the way, you could see the hand wipes. I posted something with Baldy, and Baldy was breaking down some of his good plays. He's got skill. You could see his skill. Shedding blocks, getting off them, closing the gap on making plays. I mean, he's a good player. And you could see the skill set that the guy has. You could totally see it, okay? I asked you guys the question the other day. Why is Johnny Wilson and Anais Smith on the team? Well, they answered that last night. They did a really nice job. Won't lie to you, too. The kid Cooper really had himself an absolutely great ball game. That's one game. Gabe Hall got a shitload of reps last night. Burrow destroyed the Eagles' defense last night. Just absolutely ate them up. It just ate them up last night. Okay? Kelee Ringo's terrible. As we told you the entire offseason. If you thought Kelee Ringo was going to replace Darius Slay, you're out of your mind. And to be candid, Sidney Brown can't tackle. Sidney Brown is not a very good tackler. His technique is terrible. He's a good football. Get this. Two things can be true here. And I think both of them. I don't think the Eagles are wrong to say this. Kelee Ringo and Sidney Brown are good football players. I agree with that. But I think both of those guys lack technique. I don't really believe that they're very good technique players. Brown is a guy who, he gores you. You know what goring means? He's a guy that is going to have an initial hit. Dude, wrap the fuck up. Do you understand? Here's two things those guys are doing wrong. Kelee Ringo does this. He overthinks everything. He has got no confidence. Can you imagine a corner not having confidence? He has zero confidence. Zero confidence in what that guy is. Zero. And so when you're watching him play, you see him with no confidence. See this here? I'll only read one line. Burrow's a good quarterback. That'll be the end of that comment. Not reading the rest of that. Okay? They need to stat Makuba and move Cooper to cornerback 2 because that's the only chance they have. I'll say it one more time to you. If you thought and they thought they were going to be able to play him at corner, why haven't they moved him? Why haven't they even attempted to try to get him some reps out there? Why haven't they done that? Okay? Uche and that kid Ojulari, bro, where are they? Where are these guys? So right now you have Nolan Smith and you kind of have Jalen Hunt. Jalen Hunt has proven nothing. They are gambling with that also, and they're gambling with Nolan Smith being able to play 17. You know why Nolan Smith's not going to see any preseason action? They're afraid that guy can't make the year as it is. Okay? Adoree Jackson, in my opinion, will not make the football team. He will not make it. So let's do the positive now. I think their offensive line, I think they played exceptionally well. I think your running backs played well. Your quarterback was sensational. I think that the wide receivers, the room got better. The room got a little better. I saw some tight ends show up. There were some good positives. The majority of the negatives, though, were on the defensive. Let me give you a positive. Ty Robinson showed up a little bit. I mean, look, I think he played okay. I don't think – I love how Eagle fans are going to go over the top and go, this guy played great. He did not play great. He was good. Let's be fair. That's how Clint will look at it. He played good. He did some positive things. He ran the stunt well, which, again, it was more created by the defensive tackle, him getting the penetration, and then him looping under. I thought it was a nicely performed T-stunt. He did a really good job there. I thought he still has a problem getting off of engagement. But again, I thought he played better than what he's been practicing. You got to remember what he's practicing against. He's practicing versus Jordan Mailata, and he's going against Lane Johnson. You're not going to get a lot of positive play and a lot of positive tape when you're going against guys like that are stoning you in practice every day. You're just not. I mean, then when you get in an opportunity to get out there, you know, you're going to see an opportunity for you to be able to go out there and make some plays. You got to remember something here, okay? And we talk about this all the time. Iron sharpens iron, okay? And when you've got great corners or you've got great wide receivers, and you've got an ability to be able to practice against people like Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson, you're going to be able to really see. And again, when you get into a normal game, you know, here's a for instance. You know, hopefully we're going to be able to catch up with Mike Golic here in a little bit here. Mike and that defensive front, they were making the offensive line in Philadelphia better. Okay? They were making them better. Why? Well, when you're practicing against you're practicing against Reggie White, you're practicing against Jerome Brown, practicing against all these guys. Like Mike will tell you, see a guy like Ty Robinson's practicing every day against Jordan Mailata, and he's practicing against Lane Johnson. You think that guy's going to have good tape? He's not going to have good tape. You get into a game against lesser players like you did last night against Cincinnati, you're gonna show up. Iron sharpens iron. That's kind of what you get here. Hey, by the way, I got to tell you guys something. I've been watching Mike Golic with his son. I see it on TV all the time. He's got a brand new show in the morning here, and I'm watching it. I think it's with FanDuel, and I'm watching it. There it is on the, like it's on the, I watch it every night. No disrespect, Mike, but I'm laying in bed when I'm watching it because it's the replay. So I don't want you to feel that I'm a little bit, you know, I don't want to go crazy like Christian Wilkins or anything. But hey, I mean, you know, it's a little weird. I know. I'm laying in bed watching Mike Golic, so let's bring him up here. I don't want him to hang up and feel it's getting creepy here. Hey, I'm just saying, Mike, I'm watching you. You know, I'm watching you every night. So you got me interested in it. You guys, you and your son, that's got to be a thrill to do that show, huh?
Oh man, I mean, I probably, I don't know how much I'd be working if I wasn't doing a show with my son. I would still do the Sunday night games I call for Westwood One, but I don't know about a daily show. We finished the last 3 years at ESPN doing a show together and then do one now. So it's really, really cool.
I totally dig that. All right, let me ask you, Mike, you think it's still the Eagle? First and foremost, how do you look? It's always tough to talk to guys like you and guys like me that have been from the old school. Now you're looking at preseason and how guys look at these controlled scrimmages. I think you and I looked at exhibition football a little different during our time. It was important. What do you make of the modern day preseason? Do you think it's still important?
I think the scrimmages are actually more important than the preseason games. I think the workouts I do on Wednesdays and Thursdays before the preseason game, they're more controlled. Obviously, coaches worry about injuries, but I think I believe you get more out of them than out of preseason games because
hopefully we're able to reconnect here because this is great stuff here because he's right. So he's looking at the organized scrimmages. He's looking at the organized scrimmages as being more of a vital part here. And I think that's basically how the Eagles are looking at it with these organized scrimmages. And I think they put more of an emphasis on the organized scrimmages. So I think that's exactly where Mike is going with this here is that, again, look at what Philadelphia is not going to do. They're not going to play their starters during the exhibition season, right? What they're going to do is they're going to go out and make sure that they're playing their guys, and they're going to have more of that controlled environment with these scrimmages. Like coming up, what is it, Cleveland next week? So they're going to look at more at the Cleveland tape, and they're going to make more of their assessment on what they're doing when it comes to, again, the scrimmages. See, we scrimmaged too. Like we would play against like the Chargers, we would do the Raiders, and then we would have those games that would be on Saturday. That was during our time. Now, Mike is saying that those practices that you have are more of an indication on what teams are going to build their roster. So, again, there's more roster building, I would say, that is around, the practices. So hopefully we're able to reconnect here. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button here. We're trying to reconnect here with Mike. Hopefully we can here. So I do. Like last night, I made the point to Xander, and I'll make the point to you guys again. 35 dudes from last night's game have to be picked to make your 57-man roster. Okay? Dude, over 60% of your roster is going to be determined, okay, on what happened last night. That tells you how important. Now, if you have that perspective, you'll understand how important that the exhibition is. Now, the Eagles don't put a big emphasis on that. They put an emphasis on, again, with the scrimmages here. Let's see here. Bob Golic, right in the middle of the gangrene defense. He played with Andre Waters, Wes Hopkins, that's Mike Golic. Bob played with the Cleveland Browns. Bob was a heck of a nose tackle. And for the record, Bob Golic should be in the College Football Hall of Fame. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Bob Golic is second all-time in Notre Dame tackling history. Behind, I think it's Dan Crable, I think that's the guy's name. He's second all-time, and when he left Notre Dame, he had won a national championship. I think he was a heavyweight champion wrestler too, NCAA-wise. He was a really good football player, man. And he played, I think, 14 years in the National Football League. So hopefully we're able to reconnect here. So let me go back again until we get Mike back up here a little bit. The Darius Cooper kid, he showed last night. Does he make the team? Xander wants him on the team. How will Darius Cooper make the team? Well, Darius Cooper makes the team by doing this. Continuing to excel in practice and continuing to excel when he gets opportunities in these exhibition games. He's now made it harder for them to get rid of him. And you're not going to drop him on the wire, and you're not going to drop him in a position where you're going to let that guy get out there on the open market, because somebody will pick him up and put him under. Remember, you don't have to sign with the team's respected practice squad. You can wait and sign with another practice squad if you have options, and he'll have options. Okay? Adoree Jackson, as we said, I do not believe that guy's going to make the football team. I just do not believe he's going to make it. So I threw this out. I think last night was a good start to finding out what's good, bad, and the ugly. Okay? Sills, could you ask Mike how difficult it will be for Ty Robinson to learn fundamentals? We get him back, I will. We definitely will. All right. How many people in here believe that Tanner McKee, we've been talking about this topic here. How many people believe that if Jalen Hurts goes down, Tanner McKee can win you an opportunity to get to the playoffs? I happen to believe this. And I'll say it again to you. And I know some of you don't subscribe to it, but I believe that Tanner McKee has more natural quarterback pocket skill than Jalen Hurts. That does not mean that he's a better ball player. That doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that Tanner can win more games than Hurts. Hurts has more assets to win games than Tanner does. Jalen has more assets to win than Brady does. Okay? He has more. Brady tells you all the time, hey, I wish I could have ran the ball. I wish I had that skill set like a Jalen Hurts or a Josh Allen. I don't have that. Okay? I mean, I have to win from the pocket. That's why McKee is better. It's not because he's a better quarterback. And again, am I telling you that Tanner McKee is going to have just as good a career, if not better, than Jalen Hurts? I'm not telling you that. I'm saying that he shows a skill set that right now, in my opinion, he could start on 10 NFL teams. That dude could, that guy could easily, in my opinion, start in New York. Here, let me give you one better. You put Tanner McKee in Minnesota, Minnesota wins 13 ball games. They could win 13 ball games if they had a quarterback like that up there. Here, I'll make this point to you. J.J. McCarthy, I don't know who he is. I don't know what he is. I'm starting to see a little bit more here. Okay? I'm starting to see a little bit more. By the way, let me do this. Mike was talking about the importance of these scrimmages. Back when he and I played, we did the scrimmages, and then we played that Saturday. Like in the exhibition season, like we would scrimmage when I was with the Cowboys, we would do the Raiders and we would do the Chargers and then play games on Saturday. Why have the scrimmages become more important in evaluating, especially in Philly? Let's go back to our friend Mike Golic here and get his thoughts on it here. Mike, what do you think? Why were you saying that you think that the practices are more important now than these exhibition games?
I think coaches can control them more. They can control what goes on, the different periods, whether it's a run period, a pass period, a blitz pickup period, a 2-minute drill period. They can control, coaches, they love to be in control. So they're more in control. And I just think the preseason games are becoming a thing of the past, which is a shame because the people, obviously the guys that are going to play don't get as much work as we used to get. But what really hurts, and I don't think people unfortunately really care about, but I was a 10th rounder. My son Mike was undrafted. It's the back end of a roster. When you can't have 2 padded practices in a row, basically you're giving your starters the bulk of the reps in pads, and you as a backup or a third team guy or a guy trying to make a team aren't getting as many reps. And then the second practice that day is just in shorts. So what are you going to prove, if you're a 10th round pick in shorts? Nothing. So we needed the preseason games to really show what we can do. Now they have 2 days of scrimmages before the preseason games, and basically just about all, unless you really have a draft pick that falls, basically all the draft picks are going to make the team.
And to your point, Mike, I was trying to tell people this today. You got to remember, 22 starters. But last night, you got to find 35 guys out of those exhibition guys that you saw last night. That's over 60% of your roster that was playing in these exhibition games. It's not all about the frontline guys. You've got to fill the roster out here with this.
And it's also special teams as well, which again, in the practices, you can control, you can get more special teams play than you do in a preseason game to kind of find out. I mean, listen, nothing was normally better than a practice when you went hard against your teammate. I heard you before I came on talking about iron sharpens iron. We just had, my son and I had Jared Allen on the show today. He talked about his battles with Willie Rolfe in practice.
Wow.
How Willie buried him a couple of times, and he's like, okay, this is what it's going to take for me to become a great player is beating guys like this in practice. he's like going against him in practice every day made the game seem easy.
Absolutely here. Mike, tell me the debate on Hurts. I mean, it's really wild. You got some people that are over here with him. You got some people that are over here. Why are they having such a hard time talking about him and where his place is in the NFL when you look at his resume and you look at these other guys? How come that debate is so it's like I said, it's so on a swing? Why?
Because he doesn't have the flashy stats, right? He doesn't have the most touchdowns he's ever thrown in a year is what, 22,
right?
Or 23. The
18
most yards
last
he's ever. Yeah, the most yards he's ever thrown for were in 23, threw for 3,800. He's not a 4,000-yard passer. He's not a 35 touchdown guy, but he wins. This is the greatest team sport there is, all right? And he does what needs to be done to win. They have a great team around him. He shouldn't be penalized because he has a great team around him. One of the best offensive lines, a great running back, great duo of wide receivers, a great defense. So what he gets penalized for it because he doesn't put up flashy stats. When he's asked to do something, he does it. Now, will he ever be asked to throw for 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns? I don't know. You know what? Tip of the cap to Howie Roseman for bringing the talent around that team. You're trying to build a Super Bowl championship team. That's what they built. So kudos to them. Jalen Hurts is just not asked to be a high-volume quarterback. Doesn't mean he can't if he ever needs to be, but he's not asked to be.
Well, then, Mike, why are the other quarterbacks penalized with conversation that this guy hasn't won this guy hasn't won that? And you look at Allen, you look at Lamar, you look at some of these other guys, and when the organizations – I've now come to this conclusion, Mike. You tell me if I'm wrong or right on this. I think organizations let these quarterbacks down. I mean, how much better really is Buffalo right now since they brought Josh Allen in? They've improved the run game. The defense got better under McDermott. I get it. But how much really are they building these teams around him? So I would ask you then, why are those other quarterbacks penalized?
The biggest disservice to quarterbacks, and this is a D lineman talking about a disservice to quarterbacks who usually get all the breaks and all the rules for them, is Super Bowl wins are equated with a quarterback. Why?
I know.
You have offense, you have defense, you have special teams. You look at the first couple of Super Bowls Tom Brady won. They were a defensive-led team. Even when he won in Tampa, that defense dragged them through the playoffs. They were playing great ball. Now, it doesn't take anything away from Tom and the number he won and how great he was, but why do we put Super Bowl wins on a quarterback? And he needs a win, but we've done it. We're already down that hole. The horse is out of the barn, the toothpaste is out of the tube, whatever cliche you want to use, it's already done. We already put, just like in basketball, Barkley and Karl Malone were Hall of Fame players, but don't have a ring. I would put it more on one person in basketball than I would a quarterback, because in basketball, they're out there for offense, they're out there for defense. They could be out there 30, 40 minutes a game. In football, you have no control over the defense or the special teams. Why do we make Super Bowl wins a quarterback stat? But like I said, we're already down that road. So that's why Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, well, they haven't won the big one yet. Well, my God. I mean, it's one person out of 22 starters and then special teams as well.
Mike, help me out here. You were in the league when Lawrence Taylor was in the league. And you tell me, please, if you think I'm off base with this. I look at Micah Parsons and I say this. Someone goes, Sills, do you think he's a generational player? I go, no, generational is your rookie year. You're the defensive player of the year. And 3 years later, you win the MVP of the league. That's generational in Lawrence Taylor. I told him there was a guy back in our time, Mike, by the name of Pat Swilling, who was a defensive player of the year. And I go, that guy was a beast playing down there in New Orleans. When I see Micah Parsons, do I see that kind of impact? Mike, I see a guy whose defense is ranked 19th as an average since he's been a starter. They can't play the run. I think he's really a good player, Mike, but you help me out on him. Is he really worth being paid the highest non-quarterback salary?
Yeah, I don't think it's his fault that they haven't built up the defense around him.
Okay.
I would make him the highest paid non-quarterback. I think he's an exceptional player. But again, he's one person. Now, do you have to game plan for him like you had to game? No, I'm not comparing him to LT, but I am comparing him into the fact that you game plan for an Aaron Donald. You game plan for a Reggie White, a Lawrence Taylor, other great defensive players. When you go and get your game plan every Wednesday, the offense, you know damn well where Micah Parsons is lining up every single time. And you know you have to take care of him because he's the best player on the defense. It doesn't mean it's a great defense. You know, in Philly, we had a great defense, but we had multiple, not including me, by the way, multiple great players. One, I was just in Canton watching my teammate Eric Allen go into the Hall of Fame, well-deserved. We had multiple great players. That's why we were one of the best, if not the best defense in the league. They don't have that. They can't stop the run. They don't have incredible talent on that defense, but they have one incredible player in Micah Parsons.
Couple last ones here for you, Mike. Mike, you just brought something up here, and I'm going to ask you. Last year, you had an iconic season with the number one overall ranked defense, and they won a Super Bowl. Gang Green or the 2024 Eagle defense? Which one are you saying is the best in franchise history? What would it be, Mike?
I mean, you know I'll always lean toward my group. I mean,
me too, Mike. You know that.
Jerome Brown, Reggie White, Clyde Simmons, Seth Joyner, Byron Evans, Eric Allen, Wes Hopkins, Andre Watt. I mean, just great player after great player. But what I'll say, because people have asked me, especially for a year, who was like for a 1 year the greatest defense? You have like the 85 Bears, the Ravens, the Buccaneers, when they won kind of outlying Super Bowls, led by their defense. We never closed the deal, Dan. We never – I know the offense had to do their part too, but we had a great defense. And my years there, we were number one in the league for a number of years, but we never closed the deal.
Didn't you win the Triple Crown? Didn't you win
we won the Triple Crown. Yeah, we did win the Triple Crown 1 year. So I would say talent-wise, we were better. But listen, they had the offense as well. They're the ones holding the Lombardi Trophy and putting the rings on. So, you know, am I partial to our defense and the talent that was on our defense? Yes, I am.
Mike, you probably have a vote too, like I do with the National Football Foundation. And, you know, ever since, you know, your brother, Bob, knows my wife and me exceptionally well. I mean, I know him a long time. I worked with him at Fox Sports Radio too, you know, the whole thing. And I made a play the other day for him to get into the College Football Hall of Fame. I'm like this, I go, when he left Notre Dame, I thought he was the all-time leading tackler. I think he's second right now.
He is.
In all-time, I go. And plus he was like an NCAA wrestler. So yeah. I'm doing everything I can to do this, but maybe I'm making this a little bit softer for you, Mike. I can't wait for August 31st, dog. Notre Dame versus Miami. I can't wait. We're going to rock and roll, Mike, down at the Hard Rock. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see that old rivalry again.
Oh, me too. And by the way, my brother Bob definitely deserves to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. I mean, there have been linebackers put in a lot younger than him who my brother has better credentials. I just think he's been too long out of sight, out of mind. You get 50 years from when you graduate, so he has till 2029. But his credentials: two-time All-American, one-time consensus,
national title,
All-American, national championship, second leading tackler all-time at Notre Dame. Bob Crable is number one, and my brother Bob is number two. He definitely deserves to be in the Hall. Hopefully he'll get in before 2029. And then, yeah, the rivalry is back. I don't know if it'll be as bad as the Catholic versus Convicts T-shirts that were out and that kind of rivalry. But it's good to see these two teams playing together. And listen, for Notre Dame, I mean, they opened with Miami and then they play Texas A&M.
Holy cow!
They got two. Now they got a bye in between, but their first two games are Miami and Texas A&M. That is a rough start to a season for sure.
Do you think he's been an upgrade, Marcus Freeman, from Brian Kelly? Do you think he has been?
Well, I mean, listen, he's been to the college playoffs, played in the national championship game. I know when Brian was there, they played in the title game because both my sons were playing for the team then in the 2013 title game, which they lost to Alabama. Listen, Brian Kelly won his share of games. He was there a long time and was the all-time winningest coach at Notre Dame, which is weird to say with the Newt Rockneys, having coached there of the world. But I think from a player standpoint, Marcus is more of a player's coach. Marcus gets higher rankings in recruiting. Their recruiting class is usually ranked very, very high. And I just think he really fits college ball today when you really have to be in with your players to try and retain them, right? I mean, because a player can leave every year. They're a free agent every single year. So you have to be someone that not only is a tough coach and a great coach, but you have to be able to retain your players as well. And as of late, he has certainly been able to do that. So I think he is great for Notre Dame.
Mike, I want to sneak one in on you. Is Notre Dame, do they use the nil? Do they use the transfer portal? I know they do at quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
But are they active in it, Mike?
Yes. The last 2 years, Sam Hartman 2 years ago and Riley Leonard last year. I'll say what Marcus has said. They minor in it, they don't major in it.
Okay.
They minor in the portal, they don't major. They pick the spots they need. They obviously lose players to the portal, but it's not a big overhaul of the team where you'll see massive changes every year. So that would be the best way I could describe it. They minor in the portal, they don't major in the portal.
Tell the folks how they can find your show, my friend.
Mike and I, FanDuel Sports Network, 3 to 5 every afternoon, and then they replay it after that. It's, the streaming world. It's on regular TV as well around the country. Yeah, different regional stations that are all around the country. I don't understand all the streaming stuff, Dan, because people say that I get interviewed before the show and they're like, so what's it like being on the different platforms? I said, I don't know. I talk into the microphone. Wherever they distribute it, it's up to them. But it doesn't change what I say in the microphone. But it's all over the country. It's, like I said, 3 to 5 live every day Eastern in the afternoon. Then they replay it again. And it's a ball. It's just a ball doing the show with my kid.
I just tell you this, Mike. For me, they go like this. I just go, where do I click? Because I just
exactly. Well, you saw I dropped off this show, and I'm like, oh my God, my wife's not home to help me. I'm trying to figure this thing out myself. I'm shocked I did.
Hey, Mike, this is absolutely awesome, and I'm sorry to tell you I watch you in bed, but hey, I had to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I only need to hear that once.
Mike, have a great one. We'll be watching. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right, Dan. See you, buddy.
You got it. That is the great Mike Golic. And he is, man. He's such a great entertainer. They do such a great job. All right, let me pay some bills here. The number one injury law firm in all of America is who? Morgan & Morgan. No, wait. In the world, not just America. In the world, they are the number one. With over $30 billion recovered, Morgan & Morgan defends families across this country like no other firm in the world. And get this, they don't get paid unless you win. Simple as that. If you've ever been injured in any way, Morgan & Morgan is there for you to take your case. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. That is forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. Do me a favor. You tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Sills National Football Show. How you doing? Love to see everybody rolling back into the football season with us. You guys have been absolutely sensational. I can't thank you enough. Joe, Josh, and Lamar, Golden Boys, first-round picks, stat stuffers. They're not stat stuffers. They're franchise savers. Never been out of the top quarterback conversations, and nor should they be. They're organization savers, stat stuffers. They're asked to do everything: run, pass, lead. Okay? And I'm not going to bring Hurts' name up because he has all that. It's great. Good for him. These other guys don't. Now, Lamar does. Lamar does not get that hall pass, Eaglevania. He doesn't. The rest of those other guys, hey, Joe Burrow is on a shitty football team. Tanner McKee took their #1 defense apart. What do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to do to that defense? Not excuses, it's reality. Say whatever you want. Got Browns next week, right? We got exhibition football tonight. What do we got here tonight? We got a couple games here tonight, right? Couple ball games here tonight. What is it here? Here it is. We got Detroit, Atlanta, we got Cleveland, Carolina, and we got Washington, New England tonight. Then a slate of games over the weekend. I think the Buccaneers take on the Tennessee Titans. That'll be also on Saturday. What will Howie Roseman do over the weekend? Okay, what will he do over the weekend? Will that guy go out and get a safety? Will he go out and get a corner? Or will he just stand pat? Yet to be determined. I know they're back on the field on Saturday, or the Eagles. All right, guys. Have yourselves a fabulous weekend. We will see you Monday going 2 to 6. Joe, Xander, thank you, and we'll see you on the flip side.